uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Yo, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. Mayside official. No negotiations needed, period. WCS is back in the building. What's good, everyone? It's always a pleasure to know that I got supporters out there. Some of the smartest in the game. Some of the most well-educated boxing enthusiasts in the game. You feel me? Not the ones that sit up here and walk through this door and say, hey, I'm dressed once again in my sheep clothing. Forget the wolf. I'm a sheep. I ain't a wolf. You know what I'm saying? No, they come in knowing what they know and they talk what they talk. You feel me? We're gonna get down to the core of some BS because the circus is back in town, y'all. It's not like it never left. It's just when they tell you that the tour has been cut short because not too many people interested in talking about certain things. Now that boxing is picking back up, the clowns have returned. Real talk. It's picking back up now, y'all. Turkey Out Chic, got some, has some fights on deck. He's able to finance some of these names that we didn't see coming. And then, some of these dudes, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of these cats, they didn't see this particular fight coming. You had the TOs ducking everything. You had the Ennis's quack, goose and flying everything. You just had so many fighters that was unwilling to fight the big names, man. So then you have to really examine what's the real problem. And I try to tell certain people, like, it's a lot of variables that consist of being the problem. As of recent, as you all know, you remember, right? Brian Norman Jr. out the A. He attended a fight where he had an opponent in Japan. International exposure was on deck. June 19, 2025. Yes. He went over there and visited the Japanese fighter, Jin Saski, who was touted as the next whatever they was trying to make him into as far as anime characters goes. I mean, he had a good spirit, dog. He looked tough. He looked the part, looked ripped, shredded, looked durable. You know what I'm saying? He had already been stopped once in his career, right? But how do you erase him being stopped once in his career? You go over there and you knock him out so bad that not only did it erase 2 months of the fighter's memory, but the punch landed in the freaking crowd and erased their memory too. Because the only knockout they can remember is the one that just happened June 19, 2025. Now, that was overseas. That was across the pond. That was across the water. That was over the skies, y'all. Now, of course, we're about to go on a little PT run this morning. I'm going to let you, see some evidence. And also I want you to listen to some audio. Because like I said, the circus never went anywhere. It's just certain individuals were trying to see how they can change their makeup and kind of come back out in a disguise that people won't, off the rip know who they are. By the time they open they dumbass mouth, it remove all doubt. That's what I'm saying. That's what's going on right now. So if you don't know, we have potentially a fight going on with Norman Jr. and Devin Haney. This fight just came out. Nobody was really calling for this fight. We're talking about Haney coming off a catch weight by Jose Ramirez. And really, I don't have anything with Devin. I'm just like that guy Julino over there. He said he rocks with Brian Norman, right? But then every time you turn around, he crapping on him. Oh man, I rocks with it. That's what a crackhead do, bro. They act like they're a part of something, but they ain't. Every time you try to hold them still and talk to them and ask them some sense, they want to run away. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get off my panel. Get off my panel. I don't want to talk no truth with you. I want to continue to be the crackhead I am. Let me be the most eventful, dedicated, committed crackhead I can possibly be. Because I want to talk in my crackish ways when I get on here and say, you don't have to believe it. Why are you even over here? So we have some audio that I want you to listen to, right? Because this still exists. I try to explain to people that the YTC was doing a lot of crazy things back then before some of these cats was even in the mix of understanding what this was all about. Why the haters are reappearing. There's a lot of changes that happened on the landscape in the Serengeti of boxing. Just because they walked the jungle, they've been intermingling in the jungle of media, of boxing media. Doesn't mean that they was putting out something that was beneficial. Like they call themselves putting in work, but pushing narratives, pushing biasness, profiling fighters. You know what I'm saying? Just profiling fighters to run smear campaigns on. That's not boxing media to me. I used to just think it was about dark-skinned fighters like Deontay Wilder, Bud Crawford. But now it's Brian Norman. He ain't dark-skinned. I'm just going to be honest with you. He ain't dark-skinned. So now they switching it up. I guess with everything is being taken away with the Trump administration, DEI, and Furman faction, all that. I bet, they like, oh, I'm confused. I mean, I really want to stick to profiling dark skin, the colored ones. But we're gonna switch it up a little bit and go to a more light skinned Negro today. We have to get down to the core of the BS. Boxing fans don't want to see some of these boxing dudes out here. They call themselves legitimate enthusiasts. They're not real journalistic media segues. They're just out here spreading propaganda, yo. Let's get down to the media aspect of it, because I thought the contract reads as follows. Didn't y'all think that? I thought the contract reads as follows. If you are not new to the game, but true to the game, haven't you been here before? Haven't Team Haney been here before where they had to negotiate a marginal contract with Cambosis for Australia twice? Haven't y'all been in the trenches? Bill been in the trenches. Bill been in the trenches. So much to the fact that it took him a little bit of time. But, at one point in time, he started off with H Money. I told him, I said, nah, you can't expect to grow that way. And then he started exploring his options and put more names on the application for future, availability when he wanted to so-called build his YouTube foundation. He wanted to lock in some of these channels to make sure when it came down to Devin Haney, they were speaking Haney. But there's only one original, and that's H Money. Shout out to H Money. There have been many who tried to often duplicate. You know what I'm saying? They tried to often imitate, but they just can't get it done. They just can't get it done, man. Because you got them, one thing about H Money, he never said he liked another fighter and this and that. He was just all about Devin, Haney. You know what I'm saying? He was the true pioneer of the Haney. If you want to go back in time. Not these new guys only looking at these ones that's a part of the new budget. Bill and Devin has made more money now. The budget has gone up. So he's out here paying them instead of a quarter, he's paying them 75 cents. So some money and economic budget has went up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they signed to a multi-fight deal to say these things about Devin Haney, but some of it's hilarious and some of it's just outright concerning. I'm just being honest with you. But the respect is that Devin is a former undisputed. He swiped the 135-pound division, unlike any other fighter in past. Lomachenko did unify before Devin, but Devin came from behind and got all the belts. Then he went and fought Regis. You know the story. Brian Norman came from behind, had some difficulties when he initially, before the Boca Chica fight. And then he ended up making it to world champion in devastating fashion. And he's been doing what he's supposed to do. Now that he's on that stage, now the question comes into play, who effed up and why is this team trying to act like they're getting Ryan Garcia confused with Brian Norman? And I know some people are going to have their criticism, but if you stay close enough, I'm going to help you understand what I'm talking about. I'm going to help you understand because all money ain't good money. If you continue to have experience in the sport of boxing, why do you continue to be in messed up situations? You're supposed to be improving, so your transition can be smooth. So whatever fighter you fight, they're coming there with a clear understanding, like, oh, so-and-so's been here for a while. I already know they're good to go. They're solid. They know how to conduct business. But all this game, this stuff don't happen in mixed martial arts. This stuff don't happen in other combat sports. You don't have people up here playing little carnival games. And I want y'all all to go over there and get some cotton candy and come back. Make sure you get some caramel coated popcorn too. It's on the house. I just want to talk to everybody about the agendas that we're about to push in the upcoming months. Okay? Let's get to this audio. And this is not my audio, of course. If you recognize the voice, then so be it. I'm a bit confused, but this guy said something really, really good and that was, I'll consider quality. Let's listen.
Is to do drug testing that I'm willing to pay for. And y'all got a fucking problem with it. And people is out here like, man, I don't know, man. If it's not in the contract, we ain't got, well, fuck you then. Fuck you.
So it's not like there's no drug testing. It's not like Team Norman's not trying to get tested at all. It's just when it comes down to the tricycle pushers, the grown adults who try to say, you know what, going up this hill on a tricycle ain't that bad. And the reason why I'm doing it at this particular fight, because it was done to me in the past. That's what I get. Oh, it was done to me in the past. So I want you to ride up this hill on a tricycle. And when you get to the top, you tell me what you learned. Because wisdom is sometimes not explained, but demonstrated. So I want you to struggle to go up this hill and try to explain to the people, if someone was in a contractual agreement and they said, yes, we're going to go from here to this fight date right here with testing. If this individual that is lined up contractually, that had the opportunity, who is experienced in the sport of boxing, they experience and their experience, that word experience, this is not their first rodeo. If it was, their first rodeo, right? Then questions should be asked. We can understand. I wouldn't be on here, holding them to a certain standard. But this is not their first rodeo. So you examine it even closer, and you said, so you trying to tell me they agreed to drug tests since this is now a theme, a litmus. They agreed to drug tests, but all of a sudden, the father, the manager, whatever position Bill Haney is holding down, he decides that all of a sudden, something he didn't mention when they was in New York tussling. He didn't mention this. He didn't mention anything about, I want to, put you in drug testing ASAP. Time you leave the state lines of New York, I want you goddamn pissing in the cup at the first exit. Did he say that? Did anyone hear him say that? So for somebody to say that if someone said, I'm going to spend money to have you drug tested, I thought you all about making money. I thought you was all about making money. If that particular person, Team Haney, suggests that they'll spend their hard-earned money to test Norman, all because there's some rumor mill scuttlebutt, you really ain't trying to get the fight. You really ain't trying to get the fight. But let's keep on with this audio for a little bit.
Then move your punk ass on then. Go fight somebody else then. Go ahead.
Hey, let's get it straight. Devin wasn't the first option. That's all I'm saying. He wasn't the first option, bro. They called Boots. They wanted Boots. But just like impromptu, Boots decided, hey, man, you know what I told you on the Karen rematch? I can't get up for this type of competition down here. It's time for me to move up to 154 because I'm old, man, my age and my years. I'm 28. If you don't think 28 is the same like 30 years ago, it's different. Back then, 30 years, 28 used to be a young 28. This day and time is so much pressure. I'm 28 years of age, and I got so much expectations on my shoulders. Now I know what Eminem was talking about when he said heavy on the shoulders. Oh, my shoulders ache every day trying to carry this load of expectations. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I do. I totally understand that Ennis did an impromptu to say all of a sudden he wanted to go to 154 because he must have had a dream, goddammit. For real. Somebody close to him, they might have been out of New Orleans, and they might have told him, say, hey, it may be good. It might be your best interest to move up to 154 because there's some things I seen in my dream. Yeah, I see. He about to do that Japanese boy dirty. There's some things I seen in the dream. And see, Jerron Ennis showed you a little bit of it in the post-fight presser. He said, what did he say? I just can't get up for this. Maybe I'll move to 154. And then he want to play games. He want to play games and dibble and dabble and pick Stantionis, which was an easy go, right? He carried the night on that one. Got the stoppage. But sure enough, when he popped up, like it was a goddamn season of Sesame Street, he came out that can like the Cookie Monster. Hey, I don't want to go down 147 no more. I want to move to 154. Yeah, I can't make the weight no more. After being on record saying it was cool, but Devin wasn't the first option. It was Jerron Ennis. Current, at that time, current reigning unified. That would have been a bigger fight than Devin Haney, Brian Norman. So to get on here now as a backup, you know what I'm saying? As a last minute replacement. Yeah, I know it got some months in between, but as a last minute replacement, come on, man, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping when you talk about you don't want to do such an effort, man, bro. You've been talking the same time. It's almost like you can't get past understanding there's more vocabulary out there for you. It's accessible.
I'll move on to number 7. I'll move on. Fuck you. I'll move on. And now you tell me who you'll fight. I'm making $7 million. You tell me who you fight.
Oh my God. We talk about money still in 2025.
You tell me who. Nigga, I'm doing you a favor. I don't give a fuck about what any of you niggas say.
Hey, it's good that Sesame Street has bled over into the media game because there's a lot of puppets out here. And often I wonder, right? I remember when Bill Haney got this started, and it's no knock on Bill. Shout out to Bill, man. He's really a soldier in these YouTube trenches, man. He has built his squad, his platoon. I mean, you can say that Bill is head of the ROTC of the YTC. I said it. He got these little recruits out here just marching and doing his due diligence, man. I swear to you. I swear to you, boy. They say the same thing. They mention money. Oh, he's making $7 million. We'll go down to number 7. Who's going to finance that? Goofball. Who's going to finance that? Who? Who's gonna say? But I want you to hear the dude that chimes in after this. It was hilarious.
I'm doing y'all a favor. None of you niggas gonna tell me, oh man, well, if I don't do this, and no, fuck you. I'm doing enough. I'm doing more than enough for you. More than enough. I'm putting the biggest bag that you've ever made in your pocket. I'm doing that for you. You ain't doing shit for me. I don't need your fucking belt. Your belt is a nice to have.
So he don't need the belt, right? This is why, doing audio reactions is very inclusive, because it's needed. It's a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? It's a POI. Okay, for those of you that might have been in the military, it's a period of instruction. Okay, why is this voice attempting to act like they're in control of things? And then it wasn't said that Turkey came to Team Norman first to kind of get the ball rolling on this particular project for trying to set up this fight. Do Team Haney believe that they're the A side and they're making all the calls in this? I mean, Turkey was kind of perturbed, right, about the performance of Jose Ramirez. They don't want to mention Jose Ramirez, but you're talking about what you don't need. We need an exciting fight. Turkey was up here speaking of Tom and Jerry. Was your fighter considered to be in that cartoonish scenario? I just want to know, because that's something you need to work on. You're talking about highest payday, and we're giving you a favor. Come on, man. Come on. You're not a robot, or are you? You sound like an echo chamber, man. All you channels out there saying the same stuff. You're making biggest paycheck. We can do you a favor. Man, come on already, bro. You have people out here that's refusing to fight because they want an exciting freaking fight. They don't want all that stuff. If we're going to give Shakur Stevenson criticism for what he did in certain fights and moving around William Skull, we got to give, Haney the same criticism for doing it with Jose Ramirez. We have to give him the same criticism for saying, oh, that was all planned. That was all planned right there. And, of course, we stuck to the plan, but Ryan Garcia, no. That was called karma.
I don't need it. I can retire today and pack up all my millions. And like 3 years, I'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Why are you talking like you really a part of the spit bucket? Like you're not even part of the spit bucket, position on the team. What are you talking about? You're not even part of the spit bucket, position of the team. They don't even allow you to hold the spit bucket. Why are you speaking in first person? That's dangerous, bro. If I was you, I was speaking 6, 7, 8, 9th person. Don't speak in first person for Team Haney. No way, no how, bro. Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare do that. Because we know goddamn well Devin can't retire for the rest of his life. He'll be back before he's even 35. We see boxers doing it all the time. They talk about it all the money. Unless you can produce a bank statement that tells us how much money is in there, and that allotted due to his itemized expenses that he have to do every freaking month, man, stop coming on to here selling balloons, bro, with no fucking air in them.
I'll be in the Hall of Fame chilling. I don't need you for shit. I can enjoy my daughter's life for the rest of her life and travel around the world for as long as I want to every fucking week because he's filthy fucking rich.
Filthy rich. But we're talking about paychecks. Filthy rich. But we're just because they can pay for a drug test. That's filthy rich, y'all. Real talk. Shout out to the filthy rich that do more than what they should be doing holding down their position. You know, earnings of multiple millions of dollars. They're filthy rich. Okay, but yet you're working so hard, like you're just a blue collar. That shit don't make any sense. What is up with all this shit? If you're filthy rich, why isn't fighters just trying to come to you because they know they're gonna get their highest paycheck?
Traveling the world every weekend. Get my motherfucking pecker sucked by the baddest bitches on God's green earth just because.
You know damn well. I know damn well you ain't talking in first person about that, but I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna keep it moving. Because when you don't like females, come on now. Make sure you do the Adams.
And there ain't shit you could ever do about it. Nigga, your 400,000 will be dried up in 40 days. Because you got to pay all these fucking promoters, all these managers, all your trainers, you got to pay you. Nigga, I'm doing you a favor. The fuck you mean?
That's crazy that he's trying to say over Jen Sasaki. He's going back to what they were saying about Boots and what they was offered. That's why I say this guy's freaking delusional. Julina's always been one of the head clowns. The head clowns. This is the one of the head clowns. The managerial clowns of clowns. This guy sitting up here bringing up a figure that was put out to the media when Jerron Ennis and Norman Jr. was negotiating. He's trying to say, I'm going to just bleed this over to Jen Sasaki. He's trying to say that the only paycheck, the highest paycheck he would have gotten, that, but the negotiations didn't carry through, was with Ennis. But he's leaving out the Jen Sasaki payment. He's leaving out a whole lot of specifics because he chooses to push a biased narrative. He's trying to say in his whole career, Norman has gotten paid $400,000 and it's going to dry up. Not understanding that Senior has his own business down here. You know what I'm saying? They're just not country bum. He has his own business down here. He has, you know, the crazy part about it, that Norman Jr. more than likely has more financial stability than this idiot right here. And he's super young. He's super young. So what Brian Norman is doing in his age, this guy right here, we already know what he was doing. He was out there being a goofball.
I don't got to do something that, I'm just asking you to do drug testing that I'm willing to pay. Fuck you then. Dead ass serious. Fuck you then. Fuck you then. Then take your punk ass and move on and do whatever the fuck you want to do. Fuck you.
4 or 5.
Hey, BF, you don't think they doing each other favors, low-key?
What favor is Devin getting from Brian Norman?
He's getting the opportunity to become a 3-division champion.
I don't give a fuck about your 3 divisions. I'm going to the Hall of Fame without it.
You see how I'm talking about how certain people represent your brand? He's trying to use Terrence Crawford, a fighter who they dogged out and ran smear campaigns all the time. Terrence Crawford told Errol Spence, which was a favorite fighter of this clown. He sit up there and when he said that about it, he was over here whining and crying and using up the whole motherfucking Charmin tissues everywhere on the floor. They wrote him a citation. They said, "Sir, hey, all we smell is snot bubbles and bad breath up in here. What are you crying about? What are you whining about?" When EJ said he don't need Errol Spence for his resume, he was over here balling out crying, bro. Beating up all those shadows. Spinning around like the exorcist in that dark room. Now he's trying to use that information. See, I've been around. I've been swimming in this current in the YTC. He's trying to now take that piece of material and present it for Devin. Come on, he's a Hall of Famer right now. I don't need his belt. That's stupid as hell. I don't need a 3-division champion. Now, the good thing about it is that Devin is undisputed. And I believe he will get in the Hall of Fame. I'm not going to sit up here and be particular on whether it's the first ballot or not. But the good thing about it, I even told him back then, I said, Team Haney need to go. If they're not going to get the shot, they need to go. I even said that Kambosos was not looking for Devin Haney. He's looking for Lomachenko. And he was looking for Lomachenko. It's just Lomachenko had to go out of town to combat and wherever he went. And then Devin got his shot. So the Hall of Fame isn't too far off. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to sit up here and guess like I'm standing at the door with a clicker. We got to take one more. Who's left? Yeah, bring on. Come on, Devin. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, we're going to vote him. Yeah. That's not how it works. I'm just saying that's not how it works. But to sit up here and say you don't need another division, you can go to the Hall of Fame. Which one is it going to be, goofball? Are you filthy rich to the point where you can retire today? Because if you're filthy rich and you retire today and you go into the Hall of Fame, what else is there for you to accomplish? If you don't need the paychecks and you're already in the Hall of Fame, what else is there for you to accomplish? Zero. But then you turn around and say, oh, you don't need a division champion. You don't need anything, but you mentioned you're doing them a favor. Why do you need to give Team Norman a favor and they did not request for you to give them a favor? Times has changed. Turkey Al-Sheikh is making his own moves. So when he see Bills walk through the door, Bill Haney, he's already dealt with the bullshit. You're not directing traffic over there. You can put on a yellow vest, but nobody asked you to direct traffic. No one told you to go over there and direct traffic and put in community service and say, yeah, Your Highness. I mean, Your Excellency, how you said, well, I just call you Turkey. I've been out there directing traffic. I'm sweating. I just want you to just show a little favoritism to the one and only Devin Haney. Okay? I'm very much sweating. I got to go rehydrate. Do you know I can get some water and some of that fine cooking y'all got over here? Turkey don't want to hear that. Turkey is the one making the moves. Period. Which one is it? Do you all want the fight? Because I hear a lot of excuses. We need Devin to be able to want the fight because the way Goofball is sounding, he's saying that he's wealthy and he don't need this fight. It doesn't make sense to be wealthy and don't need it because he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but yet and still you're saying we're doing you a favor. So remember, people, he just did Ryan Garcia a favor. We see how that play out. All money ain't good money. He shook on it, right? Okay, we'll get to that later.
Oh, so legacy is done with Devin. His legacy ended.
I like what this guy said.
Legacy is done with Devin. His legacy
divisions. I'm going to the Hall of Fame without it.
Oh, so legacy is done with Devin. His legacy ended.
Now you see Goofball, right? Bozo 2025 over. Bozo 2025 over. This guy, whoever he may be, asks a very, very studious and piercing question. He says, so legacy for Devin is over? Because he's filthy rich. Legacy for Devin Haney is over? Because he's filthy rich. He can retire today and go to the Hall of Fame. He don't need the belt. That's what this goofball said. This guy asked him a very studious boxing question. So it's over? Legacy? He don't need it no more? Because if he ain't fighting for legacy, let's get somebody that's more hungry and fighting for legacy. Very, very good, solid question.
It's over for building on his legacy? Because Brian #1 at welterweight right now, right?
You are a hater.
It's a big win. It's a big win for Devin.
You're a hater. You're a hater.
So how am I hating from the things
you are
I'm
a
saying,
fucking
bro?
hater.
See, this is why certain people, hey, if you support, go over there and subscribe first and foremost, ASAP. Who am I to deter you from going over there? You know what I'm saying, in that cactus bush. Go over there and bleed out if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Just take a little tissues with you so you can dap your ears. You know, this dude asked a legitimate question, solid question. So you're saying the legacy is over for him? That's what you trying to relay out to the, you're trying to reciprocate that out to the public that his legacy is over? And this guy responds and say, you're a hater. How is he a hater? He asked you a legitimate question, bro.
You didn't listen to anything I just said, King.
I listened
Nothing.
to you. I
Because
was
you're a
sitting
hate.
here
You
the whole
didn't. No, you
time, bro.
didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And you
Bro,
moved the
you said
goalpost,
if
brother. Brother, you did not, bro. My brother Beezy, you did not, bro. You moved
You
the
just
goalpost.
said,
Bro,
I'm doing you
I
a favor.
said, yeah, I said it. Devin doesn't need Brian. He is in the Hall of Fame right now. That's where he's at. Can he build on his legacy? Yes. So what? He's already in the Hall of Fame. He don't need him. There is no other hall he's going to go in by building on his legacy. There's no other hall. There isn't the Hall of Fame.
That
sounds
crazy.
What?
That sounds crazy to me,
Yeah,
bro.
it does, because you're a fucking hater, my nigga. Of course.
I'm not hating, but you're saying like I don't need the best fighter at 147.
The same reason why Shakur
crazy.
don't need Devin. Same reason. He
Bro,
needs
I
Conor
told
Ben.
you from the rip. I always felt all these niggas need each other, bro.
Nigga.
I always said that. I never said niggas don't need him.
Bro. You cap. It don't matter if my bro never said it. You act like it. That's what I thought, Bees. Because you lied, nigga. That's what I thought. You lied. Because
hold up.
Say this. A lot of people think that if
Hold up.
I don't know anyone saying that.
Hold up. I want to get to another talking point too.
Tank said, what you gonna do? That is not 3 months out. Man, knock it off. Now you move the goalposts. Hate is such a strong word, man. Cut it out. Cut it out. If Tank told Shakur Steve, shaking my head, Mills, because you have not answered the fight. You have
a condition in that.
My have been dumb. I done took this. Pathetic.
Yeah, I can't find the point I wanted to make, but I just wanted y'all to hear that a little bit. It's another one on there where this particular individual was speaking about if he doesn't take the drug testing for the 2 weeks that was voluntarily offered, through Goodwill and Salvation Army, with all expenses paid, to start the testing a couple of weeks ahead of the contractually agreed time allotted in this freaking window leading up to the fight. He said, this guy right here that you just heard, he said that if they don't take him, he's a drug cheat. If he don't enter, just because certain people trying to act like they have the momentum, like they're in charge. Do this remind you of something? They're trying to really act like what Kambosos did to them. It's some hard underlining PTSD going on with that, because the way Kambosos did it, they pretty much put it out there and say, take it or leave it. They gave them a freaking fresh, I'm talking about when you unroll toilet paper, they gave them their right hand with a fresh unroll, portion of some toilet paper. And it was fluffy white until you actually looked at the center and had a pile of shit on it. But before they know it, they are shaking hands with it. They just thought it was a sanitized freaking wipe that you get in the gym. The wipe, that's germ to get the germs off. You know what I'm saying? But it was a pile of shit on it. So for 2 fights and then get what they would have liked to gotten. But then this goofball over here talking about he don't need the guy. He don't need his belt. He can retire. He's filthy rich. But on the flip side, you're talking about another fighter's money. $400,000 will be dried up as if that's the only paycheck he ever made in boxing. My thing is, how can you make a false accusation that a fighter is cheating just because somebody that he's supposed to, that's a team member that he's supposed to fight in November, is all of a sudden being blindsided with, hey, I'll pay for it. Start the testing right now. He did the same thing with Ryan Garcia. So let's just say, if you're talking about calling off the fight with Brian Norman, all because he didn't want to jump into this bogus ass extra 2 weeks of drug testing that you're talking about. Why you couldn't get Ryan Garcia to do that? Because you did him the same way. You picked a chance while Ryan Garcia was on freaking suspension, and you said, "Hey Ryan, I want you to get in the testing right now." And he went to the public and say, Ryan will not get in the testing, whatever his words was. Ryan refused to get in the testing. I want him to get in the testing pool. Even though Ryan wasn't even scheduled to fight Devin on that Times Square card. He was due to fight Jose Ramirez. But I just felt like it was extremely out of order. It was just like juvenile behavior, wasting people's time. See, Ryan Garcia, one thing he'll say is talk to my attorneys. If you got a problem, talk to my attorneys. Don't talk to me no more. If you was in that opportunity, stand across the ring from Ryan Garcia, and you couldn't get the job done in the ring, and found out he was dirty, there's a lot of concessions that was met before that fight. It was a lot of concessions met, and with those concessions, you shook hands with the wrong person. Period. He shook hands with the wrong person. He knows it. They all know it. But let's talk about the proposed start date. Are they not contractually agreed with under 2 weeks to start body testing? Is it me, or is I'm just reading this wrong? Do I need to go up to American Best and look at the owl and say, hey, I'm here to get me some new glasses because I just can't see what I want to see? Or should I go to one of these schools up here and get some tutoring because what I'm reading, I'm not able to translate it properly? Something ain't right. If you all had the opportunity to speak about this, with the powers that be, the role players, the shakers and movers, the ones that's really moving the pendulum, you all agreed on August 1st. Why would it still be conversation out of the blue say we'll pay out of our pocket when you had every opportunity to save money? I mean, understand that the goofball is over here talking about you're filthy rich. But I've never seen Team Haney or Bill as the people that just want to give away money. Because I've never seen them offer Ryan Garcia all this money. They made a bet, but that bet ended up biting them in the ass. Even though it was it was changed over to a no contest, still the damage was done. That's a huge mistake. That mistake could have put him in a position of Adonis Stevenson. Could have put him in a position of Pritchard Colon, Gerald McLean. Or it could have put him in a position of a Patrick Day or Maxim Dedashev. They're sitting up here making bets and somehow, hey, check this out, somehow believing that, yeah, let's do VADA testing real soon, because the last time somehow a family member knew that Ryan was going to test dirty before public. How did that even happen? But back to the August 1st date. Isn't that the proposed date? I'm just curious. That's supposed to be the proposed date to begin VADA testing. Now, inquiring minds want to know, if you've been in the game long enough and you understand how to play it without looking at the instructions, then why would you go to the table and agree on a fight date, and then all of a sudden, impromptu, impulsively, you want to say, let's start 2 weeks early while a person on vacation? What if that would have been done to Team Haney? Do you think Bill Haney or Devin Haney would have entertained that? No, they wouldn't have entertained it. I'm just going to be honest with you. Let's speak about the all money ain't good money, right? They want Brian Norman in a drug test because there's some fear going on. When has a fighter ever knocked out a fighter so bad that they forget about the first time that casualty was knocked out prior to that? Jensen Saski had already been knocked out But the way he was knocked out with Brian Norman, now people saying, oh, okay, juice. Now it's performance enhancing drugs. That's what he's doing. I thought it was the level of competition. I need for y'all to help. Please educate me, man, because I paid for my classes. You know, my tuition is paid up. Everything. You know what I'm saying? Even though that interest rate is a little high. But my tuition is freaking paid up. I'm not delinquent. Help me understand how that fucking works, yo. That's all I want to do. Help me understand. I thought you all said he ain't fought nobody. I thought you said he ain't headlined in Georgia. But then you turn around and he's knocking out the opponents that y'all say, Santion, he wasn't nobody. Cuevas, he wasn't nobody. Jensen Saski had already been stopped. He wasn't nobody. But before that, y'all was saying that, hey, man, he had a tough go with Boca Chica and this, that, and the other. Which one is it? Is his opponent's trash or does he have knockout power? Because you all confusing a lot of people. For one, you were saying the quality of opposition wasn't anything to put your hands in the air about. But now all of a sudden, oh, we might need VADA testing. And then said name individual and his people agrees to VADA testing. But that's not enough. Because why is VADA even mentioning? It's time to run a smear campaign. The crazy part about it, some of these same people that's up here trying to be advocates for Team Haney, they was dogging them the fuck out when he looked the way he did against Ryan Garcia. That is the crazy part about that. They were saying that Bill Haney made the ultimate mistake in allowing Ryan Garcia to miss weight, shake on a penalty that they was going to pay out to the team. And look, it's a lot of distortion and rookie mistakes in here. Ryan Garcia was already said that he was going to miss weight. Bill Haney was up there saying, yeah, you just need to make weight. You just need to make weight. Devin's piggybacking off of that. Yeah. I don't think you're going to make weight. I don't think you're going to make weight. I'll bet you this. Bet this per pound. Boom, they shake on it. Dude comes in there and miss weight, right? The fact that he missed weight and people was on here gloating that he has to pay Team Haney a certain penalty. Then turn around when he was going through the commission and had to go before the commission and then up copping a plea and got a year suspension. The penalty was $1 million that was sent back to the promoter. Then, why didn't Team Haney know this already? Because y'all just shaking hands on penalties per pound, but y'all didn't know how all the process work. So then they have to do reaction. They have to play catch up. They say, well, why is that $1 million going back to Golden Boy, the promoter of Ryan Garcia? Why is that? Why isn't it going to us? And then they had to go through this whole other process, right? Because if his son knew that Ryan was going to test positive, why would you send your moneymaker, your filthy rich, your goddamn multi-division world champion? Why would you send him in there against a fighter who your son said was going to pop dirty before the news was even released? Why would you do that? Why would you jeopardize his health like that? And then what make it even worse is things that I felt they should know already. They just, I don't know, it got worse because when Ryan Garcia was on freaking suspension, come to find out, there's a lawsuit out there for battery. A lawsuit that was out there for Ryan Garcia for battery. Now, I'm not saying he's the first fighter ever to basically get wrapped up in some legality vehicle, but I'm gonna tell you, this wasn't driverless. It was people that was driving this vehicle and they wanted something to happen. It was supposed to be a rematch, right? But a lawsuit was the talk of the town. And they said for battery. Check this out, for battery. So coming full circle to Brian Norman, they said for battery, they want to make sure they advocate for a clean sport. Let's advocate for a clean sport, because you had Ryan Garcia, a social media star, teach them a valuable lesson. But yet you still got goofballs up here talking about money. Come on, you got to be smart. Like, you still up here talking about money? When Ryan Garcia had these cats up here looking crazy, he went in there overweight. Nobody said they was going to cancel the fight because they're filthy rich. Why? Why didn't you cancel the fight like Edwin De Los Santos, did to Keyshawn? Why? I know it's a different pay scale, but why wasn't the fight canceled? If they filthy rich, stop talking about money like these fighters can retire today when they still have to make money. And you live in a certain lifestyle, and that particular goofball over there, a room is quite different than a whole full mansion. I don't know where he live, but I'm pretty sure the square footage and the rent and the utilities and just to walk out and go into the kitchen is different. The body goes through a transformation. The heart rate rises a little bit. But when you trip and fall out the room, you land in the goddamn other room and you have the little mini fridge right there. But you just open it up and say, oh man, I'm glad I don't have to walk all in the kitchen, get permission. You go out there and grab the loaf of bread off the top of a 3-foot down mini fridge, and you do what you have to do. I'm just saying in general, for that particular fight, why wasn't the I's dotted and the T's crossed? Why would you have a lawsuit for battery when you could have prevented this the right way? Now, you coming over here, Norman has nothing to do with Ryan Garcia and Haney's situation, but they advocating for a clean sport. But I didn't see them advocating for a clean sport when they was set to fight Jose Ramirez. I didn't see them pressuring Jose Ramirez for a freaking drug test and they was going to come out their pocket. I didn't see they pressuring Jose Ramirez. Where was that pressure? Where was Ramirez, yo? Where was Ramirez in the media? Why, if Ramirez was after the Ryan Garcia fight, why weren't you all pressuring him for a clean sport? Wasn't they going in there to fight? They was going in there to fight. You was going in there in hope of beating Ramirez to once again step in there with Ryan Garcia. And Ryan Garcia just slammed the door and said, no, I'm out of here. I got other things going on. I just think Ryan Garcia that was his punishment for pretty much saying what he said about the Muslims. That's just my assumption. But when it comes to this drug testing, hey, that's not something I have too much say so on as far as what it should and shouldn't happen. I'm more so focused on the contract. If you went to the table, and this is not the only table you ever went to, and you understand what's going to be the topic, what is the negotiation principles that we're talking about, and you decide that August 1st is cool, but yet you want to impromptu start the test 2 weeks early and you'll pay out your pocket? Why would you want to pay out your pocket though? I thought that was all about expanding the wealth. Why would you want to pay out your pocket? Now, if any one of you other goofballs want to explain to me another fighter where Bill Haney has suggested that he was willing to pay out his pocket to advocate for a clean sport, please drop it in the DMs. I would truly appreciate it. If you can explain or drop me a receipt where Bill Haney has volunteered to pay a fighter in between fights, whether it was Lomachenko, whether it was Regis, whether it was Cambozo. Was it Jojo Diaz, Jorge Linares? Anybody? When has Bill Haney ever volunteered to pay for another fighter's drug test for a small window outside the agreeable window that you said heading into that November fight. You ain't gonna find it. But all of a sudden, the PTSD is rearing its ugly face, because when certain people, don't want to be a part of the bluffing technique, you know what I'm saying, go through the same clownish type shit, they just want to stick to business. Why does boxing constantly have to go through this freaking reality TV type shit where people playing games? Shout out to Turkey. Turkey doesn't seem like the guy who you can go in there and manipulate with that fast talk, that corner talk and shit. He doesn't seem like you can manipulate him like that. I'm just being honest. It just doesn't seem, but all money ain't good money. They found that out when they shook hands on Ryan Garcia and he popped up dirty and had a fight where Brian Norman had popped up dirty. But if they just left Japan and came back home chilling, nobody can go on vacation. You think if Bill was going out on vacation or Devin was going on vacation, they would agree to get in drug testing right then? No, furthermore, it wouldn't happen because I don't think Team Norm would even suggest or recommend that they come out their pocket just to prove a point. The team Haney say, hey, I want you in drug testing 2 weeks early while you're on vacation. They wouldn't even do it. It's pointless, because if you look at this, right, if you look at the calendar, if you look at this right here, from this day forward, we have 126 days, yo. 126 days to November. 126 days to November 22nd. Is that not enough time to find out if a fighter is dirty or not? Did Ryan Garcia, was he in testing this long to the point where he popped dirty? Because he said all his tests was clean all the way up to fight day and on fight day. But was he in testing 18 weeks? I'm just curious. I'm just curious for you, if you want to do some analytics. I'm just curious. Was Ryan Garcia in testing this long? Was it a concern? Because a lot of shit ain't making sense. If one of the children knew that Ryan was going to test dirty, why wasn't that same child motivated to go tell Papa, hey, Pops, Ryan Garcia's going to test dirty. I don't want him hurt my brother. Ryan Garcia's going to test dirty. I don't want him hurt my brother. If you all knew that this dude was dirty and he said it well before the fight date, then why did you go in there and shake on and take the money? It doesn't make any sense, because now I'm looking at, like, with Norman, you get the fight. He goes in there and knocks Devin out, right? Now we're going to be going back to the damage that Ryan Garcia inflicted. And that's just not fair. You want to go back and circle back, double back and say, oh, well, you know what, at the end of the day, we just wanted to test to see how we were. We didn't get a chance to do it with Jose Ramirez because it was an 18-foot ring and it was a little breezy out there. Every time Devin moved, he'll get caught in the breeze and it'll take him further, from one turnbuckle to the next. And, he didn't have no power. He didn't want to use up all his power, his leg strength to fight the damn, the breeze, the wind, the wind chill and all that other shit they do in track and field. He just didn't want to tire himself out. You had an individual who knew that Ryan was going to test dirty. They shook on it. He comes in overweight and the whole deal to play out. The lawsuit is out there. You all agree to drop it and go in there. And Ryan Garcia doesn't handle his side of the bargain. Now you have to go on a search. And this search was already in play for other fighters for Brian Norman, but now y'all fall into it. Y'all just can't fall into it professionally. But I just want to ask the question, did you try to play these games with Kambosos, though? Because what you did over there was commendable. You went over there and took the titles and defended them. Why are y'all still trying to prove, like, now that you have a black fighter? Because we all know, point blank period, Devin don't have a lot of black fighters on his resume. I'm just being honest, man. Now you want to try to say you're the real plantation owner. We're doing you a favor. He had like this is something that he's doing volunteer work because you a needy nigga. That's what I get out of this. Like Devin barely has any black fighters on his resume, but now he comes up to have a black fighter on his resume. And don't be telling me about no Regis Prograis either. He rarely even have a black fighter on his resume. And now he want to make it extremely difficult. Did you ever hear Regis? Did they say, hey, Regis, we want you to be in the drug, the 365-day drug program. You know what I'm saying? We have concerns. We'll pay out our own pocket. We'll pay out our own pocket there, Regis. No, because they didn't feel that Regis was a threat. But with Norman, they feel it's a threat. Because if you look at that resume, them last 3 fights, being on a knockout streak, going viral, now the YTC wants to say drugs are involved. It's wild because they did the same thing with Crawford. They say it was snack that allowed him to beat Spence the way he did. And nothing came back dirty on his test. Now it's to the next black fighter. But it's not the non-black fighter who's pushing the efforts. It's not the Mexican fighter. It's not the European or Russian, all that fighter. No, it's another black fighter that's doing something crazy. When they had all the signs pointed in their direction with Ryan Garcia and they chose to just let it, fly away. They decided to ignore the red flags. They wanted to go in there and take it for granted. Poor business decision to go in there and take that much punishment. And then try to act rah-rah and say, oh, let me use one. Look, let me use one of Boots' lines. He ain't really that good. I mean, all these fighters just recycle people's, not all of them, but a lot of these fighters just recycle other fighters their criticism, in which they know it's not true. They say he ain't that good and he ain't this, but now you want to pay out of pocket. Which one is it? He ain't no better than any other fighter. I'm a handicap him. Why do you want to pay out your pocket for 2 extra weeks of training? Explain to the people. If the fighter is not that good, why reach deep into your goddamn linen and say, I want to add him to drug testing extra 2 weeks because he's not really that good. I'm a handicap him. But first I need to really handicap him. Yeah, the handicap process I'm talking about is outside the ring. I want to handicap him. I want to hope and pray something happen. There's contamination with ashwagandha, and I don't have to take this fight. Look, y'all, 126 days, 18 weeks. That's not enough time for thorough testing. Think about this. This is random drug testing. 18 freaking weeks, but they want to pay out their pocket because they're filthy rich, y'all. This is what we have to deal with in boxing. Why? Because at the end of the day, there's a situation that happened, right? Brian Norman tested positive for PED. I put the tweet out the other day. WBO welterweight world champion Norman Jr. test positive for PED. Okay, the PED he tested positive for was punching extremely destructive. That's the PED that Brian Norman tested positive for. That's what's scaring him. He levitated and laid out and blessed and baptized Jen Saski to the point where people are saying now it was a paranormal activity that took place in the ring. They seen something that looked a little spiritual, like a soul rising up. But somehow, some way, they was able to pray, so that soul goes back down, and Jensen Cycle was able to fight another day. It was a destructive viral punch. When you punch an extremely destructive, now everybody want to run to the narratives, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to run to the narratives and be like, no, we want to test this. We want to do a blood test. We want them to be on 365, you know what I'm saying, VADA testing. And then they complete the VADA testing all the way through. Now it's going to be something like, oh, well, we got this lined up, so-and-so injured. No, man. Boxing, that's why people be laughing at boxing too much. Because fighters be acting and pretending like they really want to fight that's dangerous. But they show less intensity with fighters who don't have the punching power with Brian. No, I'm just being honest, man. Like, you didn't handicap Jose Ramirez. Let's be honest with ourselves for a second. Let's be honest, right? Stop playing around. All of us is educated enough to understand interpretation, right? We don't need a Dragamon on deck, you know, charging by the hour. But check this out, though. If you're saying you're going to handicap a fighter, why would paying out your pocket even be a suggestion when Jose Ramirez never once gave the indication that he was going to have the punching power or be that dangerous to even touch you? Why would you go in there and fight the way you did against Jose Ramirez if you're going to handicap Brian Norman Jr.? That shit don't make no sense. I don't get it. That don't make any sense at all to me. That doesn't make any sense to me. That don't make any sense to me. How can you go into a fight with that minimal aggression, but yet a fighter who's knocking heads off right now, who's causing red dot memory loss? The dude's causing red dot memory loss. Feel me? Will Smith was even impressed. He said, hey, let's send Brian Norman a black suit right now and give him his freaking own device. That's the first time I've seen a fighter do that with the left hand, or with any hand per se. But let's send him his red dot in a black suit, please. Yes. And give him a set of court frames. Get with his team and see what size shoe he wear. A team who went in there and fought a former unified champion did not at no time go public and said they want to pay for testing, or they had concerns about testing coming off a fighter who tested dirty. Jose Ramirez did not get the same AT&T. But yeah, you leave Jose Ramirez be. You don't beat him up and handicap him. Now you're coming over here for a fighter who you say, your critics are saying don't have the overall boxing skills. Now all of a sudden you're treating him like he's a 360-degree fighter, well-rounded, no flaws, perfect. Put him on a video game. How can you be so interested in drug testing when you didn't even give Jose Ramirez that same type of AT&T? That shit don't make no sense to me. Something's backwards here. Seriously, I'm like something's extremely backwards at the end of the day. Like, why didn't you handicap Jose Ramirez? Why didn't you go in there and dominate Ramirez? Why are you acting like you're going to dominate Norman Jr., but yet you want to put him on drug testing? It don't make any sense to me, because it seems like if Jose Ramirez never really presented you concerns of being a knockout artist or having the power to do so, you would have went in there and handicapped him and showed the people that you was back from Ryan Garcia. But what happened is you only left them with a surplus of other questions and doubt, and saying like, hey, why would he fight him like that? Jose Ramirez don't supposed to be on your level. Don't be bringing in the former unified champion. We're talking about a fighter who's supposed to be on a whole nother level. right now, right here. A fighter who's supposed to be able to, retire at any day right now and be a Hall of Famer. I just didn't think his performance value in Times Square reciprocated that. Okay. I didn't see the performance level reciprocating that from a fighter who fight fans wasn't saying was going to go in there and be a dangerous opponent for Devin, who was going to go in there and have a good, solid 45% chance, 50% chance of knocking him out. Nobody was saying that about Ramirez, but yet you played it safe. You had the safety on. But with Norman, it's clear that they're going to try anything and everything to agitate the situation. And then it leaves in the question, do they even really want to fight? Because a lot of boxing fans was asking, how is Devin going to look outside of the Ryan Garcia damage that he took? Because Ryan was proven to be on OSTARINE, and they was going to sue for battery. But somebody who they might try to sue for attempted homicide is the guy that's on the thumbnail. So you might want to keep your attorneys, close by. Seriously, and this nothing against Haney, nothing against Bill. Just like that goofball talked. Oh man, I don't have no problem with Brian Norman. I don't have no problem with this and this and that. But we're doing him a favor. We're doing this. We're doing that, bro. That's one thing I tell you. You can't take some of these cats serious, but I'm just saying. You might want to keep your legal team close by, because either it's going to be ASICs, the Prefontaine ASIC Classic, where we're going to have the 400-meter dash, or we're going to have a classic of fighters on two levels where, we just seen, some of that go down recently in some of these fights. We've seen a good contest. We've seen a good back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Are we going to see two fighters try to break each other down? Or are we going to see a lopsided? Because look, listen, are we going to see something like Shakur Stevenson, William Cepeda? Not to compare either fighter. I'm just saying the amount of time that they was willing to engage one another for 12 rounds. Are we going to see that? Because this is a 12-round showcase for the WBO welterweight world title. Are we going to see that type of a continuous action, or we're going to be looking for one of the track and field representatives to say, hey, is there a penalty, for lack of engagement? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Because look, we wouldn't want showbiz to come up here with that false propaganda and say, hey, he's violating the no running rule, Turkey. And did you approve my petition? Is it notarized yet? You sent it back? Huh? I mean, obviously he's moving too much. I want to hear about this, man. It's a lot that WCS would like to know about this, but it's just a lot of things that ain't adding up. Like when Boots said he ain't really that good and he moves up to 154, it don't make any sense. It really don't make any sense. And then you got someone who's advocating for a clean sport, for a fighter who never gave you any indication that you need to pay out your own pocket. But yet you go in there and fight Jose Ramirez like he was freaking Brian Norman. You act like Jose Ramirez was possessing that strength and that knockout, like he just came off a Jen Saski knockout. I mean, on your mark, get set, pow. I said, is the Olympics this year? Oh, okay, my bad. I got it confused. I thought that was Nora Lyles. My bad. I get confused sometimes in my old age. I thought it was Nora Lyles. He run the 100. Oh, my bad. I ain't gonna lie to you. My bad. I got to pay more close attention. But let me get to the chat right quick. Shout out to everybody that's on deck, man. You know what I'm saying? We have to get to a point where boxing, whenever they get these type of matchups, it's very entertaining, but yet it blends in with the herd of channels that's all willing and able to say the same thing all the time. Oh, now we have to. And look, it's always a black fighter that's being accused. They're not accusing Bam Rodriguez from getting off the deck and winning the fight. Canelo's been popped dirty, before. They don't mention that. It's several fighters who have popped dirty, yo. You got fighters that was out there. One fighter that was just on TV that was got in trouble for selling pads. It's been several fighters that's out there that's included for being performance enhancing drug users that's popping dirty. Kubrat Pulev, didn't he? Was that him that just popped dirty, or Alexander Povetkin? Which one? It's plenty of fighters that's been out there. But when a fighter is knocking heads off, you know where I see the bias at? Without even swiping my eyes, man. People won't say that about Naoya and Nui. He can come over here and get these knockouts after being knocked down, and don't nobody say nothing. We just had Iman Katayev coming here off a positive test or something, in the amateurs, and that man took every shot David Morrell gave towards him, and people then bat an eye. They was like, "Oh, okay, he was tough. Oh man, Morrell, he got exposed. Now you have a fighter that goes viral for knocking out a Japanese fighter. Instead of giving him his full credibility and say, man, he landed that shot. That was great timing. Man, he had some damn voltage on that shot. They sit up here and say, well, it's all about pads. We need to get a cup of urine on that. Boxing fans ain't trying to really grow the sport from a media standpoint. No, they just like a whole bunch of weeds out there, man. They love just waddling around each other and just damn looking at nonsense. They're not trying to build anything. Inouye gets knocked down and come back up and do all that shit. They don't say a word, and then come back and fight a soft touch. They don't say a freaking word, yo. They're not questioning Matias, how he can just walk for 12 rounds and take all those punches and keep going. They're not questioning him for freaking pads, right? I'm just saying, are they questioning him for pads? For him just walking down the way he did? Are they questioning Manny Pacquiao coming back at 46 for pads? Oh, they just don't want to say anything. That's a Filipino. That's Manny Pacquiao. I'm not accusing him, but I just don't see this type of antics reciprocating across the board for other fighters who you should be proposing that question to. Are they clean? Are they on drug testing? But no, you do it to the up-and-coming fighters that's making a name for themselves and fighting your potential favorite fighter, and to basically dilute them on this collision course. They start to bring in every type of deterrent possible. Instead of all the good positive pros to this fight, they want to bring in drugs. They want to, instead of saying, oh man, this is going to be a tough fight between Devin Haney, and both fighters have been in some tough fights in their career. They both been on the canvas. Oh, this is going to be great. No, they want to say, oh, let's talk about drugs. We think he's getting all the knockouts this reason. So they start running a smear campaign just like they did on Crawford, just like they did on Wilder. It's the same shit, and majority of it is coming from black content creators. B-L-A-C, black. Shout out to TV on Deck. MKB in the building. What's good with Monte King? Eclipse 330. What's good with the Square C? Big Blunts and Boxing on Deck. What it do, Blunts? I have a feeling Daniel's going to be in rare form. Let's see if it's good enough for the beat Usyk. Hey, man, 330, man. I'm with you on that, bro. I looked in his eyes, and I've looked in Usyk's eyes too, man. Like, Usyk is a different caliber of pugilist. Real talk. He is what you call a gladiator. In my opinion, Daniel having shown me that he has that IQ to make adjustments in such a high level bout such as this. Daniel Boy haven't shown me that yet. But when I see his eyes and his confidence, man, he looks locked in, bro. He looks ready. You know? Arnold Brown, what's good with it, bro? OG Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. Salute to you. The news by Shaw News Sauce Experience. What's good? Team Tucker official on deck. They kick H Money out the whip and got R. Kelly boxing fights. You know what I'm saying? The rest got him. Marty Key boxing. Yeah, I seen R. Kelly. Content is emotional. Hold on for a second. Yeah, I'm back. R. Kelly boxing content is emotional. Hey man, what y'all think about? Shout out Toby, good to see you on deck, man. Mr. International in the building. What y'all think about that? You know, like the scenarios ain't adding up though. I've heard, two fighters that's supposed to be elite fighters, right? You know, they are elite fighters. Jerron Ennis and Devin Haney dilute the ability of Norman, but their actions is more so like fleeing the scene. You know, because Boots is now saying he's heading 154 if you give him 5 tune-ups and a goddamn 5-piece McNugget. And then you have Devin that treated Jose Ramirez like he had the punching power with Brian Norman. But yet I've never seen any type of, hey man, we want Jose Ramirez on 365 bottle testing ASAP. We need this ASAP. I heard he was going up to Longhorn Steakhouse. Before you do that, we need to get that urine and we need to get the blood. We need to do all that shit before you even touch that steak. Because I don't want you saying the steak had clean in it. Okay? I don't know what Longhorn you're going to, but I heard through the grapevine you're going to Longhorn Steakhouse. And they've been putting that clean in them steaks up there. So let's get the testing right quick. You ready, Ramirez? You on deck? We're going to pay for it. You're on deck. We even pay for your meal at Longhorn. And by the way, can we get a sample of that steak you're on in case you do talk positive? We could test the steak. Come on, man. Stop it. Sue Toby is Shaw News, Mr. 15%. Now they should have locked in. They should have locked in for the flat rate. The introductory rate. The introductory rate. Because the price yesterday is not the price today. The introductory rate. That's what they should have did. Conquest on deck. I see you. P Show. YouTube has to stop this BS. These ninjas are not even in boxing. I mean, they're not doing anything contribution wise in boxing. All they doing is just pushing first person narratives as if they're the ones in the planning process. Like Bill consult with them. Hey man, I was just calling you up. I know it's 3 a.m. You good? Are you free? Yeah, Bill. Thanks for calling me. Thanks for calling me. Man, this pavement. All right. Hold up. Let me go over there and sit on the park bench. Yeah, what you need? What you need? Yeah, I just wanted to get your advice on something for Devin. Do you think we should pretty much pay out our own budget? Because I showed you the budget. You know what I'm saying? I gave you the login credentials too. You think we should pay extra 2 weeks for Team Norman? I just wanted to get your take on that because people complain about it. I didn't know what you thought. No, man. No, you're doing what you're supposed to do. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go look at the your bank account. You know, I'm gonna run some numbers a little bit. See, is it something we should do? Is 2 weeks actually worth it? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna check with some of my sources and see if they actually seen any type of needle hanging out Norman's left cheek. You know what I'm saying? Or any in his freaking arm. You know, I just gotta check all the footage, all the surveillance footage. That's all I want to do. Just give me a little bit of time and I'm gonna get back with you. All right, man, get back with me because I depend on you. You my A1 since day one. You know what I'm saying? Get back with me, homie. And don't go taking none of the money out without my permission. Give me a notification every time a withdrawal happen. Okay? Get yourself cleaned up. We're going to work on you. He the president of the Man Woman Club. We seen you at the after party. You wasn't impressing none of them foxes in the room. None. What up, Brim? None. At all, bro. The hall is not as prestigious as it once was. Talk to them. But when they speak on it like that, Bruce, it's funny how they speak on it as if for that Pacific fighter, they're going to bring prestige to the hall based off their current engagement, their current accolades. You know what I'm saying? That's how they speak on it. They say, hey, so-and-so is wealthy, filthy rich. They don't need boxing no more. Then if you don't need boxing, why are you trying to make the fight so difficult? For real, why are you trying to make the fight so difficult? It makes no sense, man. Let me get back. Let me take this down right quick. Team Haney, YouTube boxing hype man. Yeah, man. Man, come on now. What did Brim say? I thought you would put something up top. Shout out to there it is right there. Shout out to IOTBA Boxing and the Big Man. Shout out to the Spit Bucket Podcast. What's good? What's good with OG? How you feeling, bro?
I mean, I'm living, brother. Blessed by the best, can't complain about it, you know.
So you want to speak on this situation? Let me just give you a summary. I know you've been listening, but the whole umbrella for which I was speaking on today is just Norman Jr. is now pretty much highlighted for his recent knockout of Jensen Saski, who was already knocked out, but it's just the way he was knocked out by Norman. Now, through all the shuffling and buffling, certain people don't want to fight. Now, Haney is put into the mix of facing Team Norman in November. So they've been on social media talking, okay, we get it. But now the narrative has been pushed again by majority of black content creators, black media, black voices, that it has to do with performance enhancing drugs. So they agreed supposedly to start August 1st, which is 126 days until November or whatever. I'm just saying, I know it's less days than that if you include fight week. Give me your take on the process on why all of a sudden the drug testing is a big deal. Bill want to pay out his pocket of his own money because they filthy rich and all this shit that Goofball was talking about. Let me hear your part.
Personally, neither one of them need to take no drug test, but technically they both gonna take drug tests because they fight for a real title. You don't piss in the cup and not give blood when y'all fight for a real title. It's a private location that's given to the fighters in their camps. Each manager got to bring the fighter to report to BARDA. Every sanctioning body has drug testing. That's a federal law. Meaning, if you're fighting for a scrap, you're gonna have to give up some blood and some piss before and after. So the problem is this: Bill Haney is suffering from something we call the Ryan Garcia jinx. Meaning, Ryan Garcia was naturally bigger than Devin Haney, and Devin Haney couldn't beat no fucking Ryan Garcia. We already knew that from the beginning, from the word go. One, he doesn't have any power. That's the whole thing. He's a boxer. And no disrespect to Devin Haney, but Devin Haney is one of the fastest hands kid that you have. Devin Haney was a prodigy. But unfortunately, he has run into too many punches, like Ryan Garcia. Like he's going to run into a big punch in Brian Norman. If you're scared, say you're scared. Don't say I want to fight the best, then I'm pulling goofball shit like, let's take a drug test. For what? What are you trying to prove? That you're scared? You got to be scared because Brian Norman is going to hit your son in ways your son ain't never been hit before. And that's just the truth about it. So the drug testing is kind of like, let's bring some clout to me because I really don't want to fight him, but I'm praying that he dirty so I don't have to fight him. You feel me? Mm-hmm. That's the way it looks, because 126 days from fight. Did you just not forget you got in a whole brawl with this man and you saw the script for this man when he flipped that big ass man over? You saw the script for this kid when y'all walked up eye to eye and you saw that this boy was a specimen. So you looking at this motherfucker like, oh shit, I can't let my son get hit by that. It just the fear in your eyes was proven. When you thought he just showed up to the party, no, he took the long way home. So you've been there for a minute. Well, let's see why you got there for a minute. Your son was a prodigy. Floyd Senior used to train your son. Your son was always around Floyd Mayweather. So you had an interest to the dope. Forgive the man from Decatur, Georgia, that had to climb the ranks and fight the no-nos of boxing to get where he is today. So respect the man for taking the long ride home. That's all I'm saying, man. It's just the point of the matter. We got to stop acting like fools and really act like we know boxing. We got to start acting like convicts and act like professionals, man.
Hey, so let me ask you. Read you this comment right here from one of my peoples in the chat. Bug Gonna Stop Canelo. He said there was no testing in Sasaki fight. So to me, it seems suspicious that they want to wait until August 1st, in my opinion. So he fought Jensen Saski June 19, 2025. Right?
Yeah.
So today would be actual 1 month.
Yeah.
from that fight. What's your response to that? So what Bud Gonna Stop Canelo said, like everybody's putting this Sasaki fight. The crazy part of me, OG, is just the fact that the first dude who knocked out Jen Sasaki, they weren't trying to push no damn drug test on him. But Brian Norman goes over there and knock him out. And everybody was talking about, oh man, he a bum. He been knocked out before, man. Whatever. They was giving the benefit of the doubt because he's Japanese. Yeah. He goes over there and lays him out. Now all of a sudden, you got boxing fans want to push for drug testing.
And you know what it is, right? You know why they want to push for that drug test, right?
What?
Because it's the unknown. Think about it. If you have a name, we don't hear about no drug testing.
Yeah.
We basically saying the man cheated to get out there and be ranked in the world. That's what we saying when we say things like that. But it's we respecting that fighters don't make fucking fights, matchmakers do. We're slipping that out there.
I mean, that's how they want it to happen. You know, on these YouTubers too, they make fights. Because look, they speaking in first person like we.
Yeah.
Like they you know, Bill called them up when it's time for them to not taking them out to dinner, because he's taken them out to dinner before, but you know, Bill calls them up in wee hours of the night, man, to talk about business, to get their advice on some shit.
Yeah.
Who they should bring in the camp and shit. That's how the YouTubers, you know, these content creators, some of them talk.
But it's still the point of, let's go back to it. We said fucking Terrence Crawford ain't fighting nobody, and he demolished Earl Spence. Now, what's still the argument gonna be? You understand?
Well, they pretty much use the same avenue of approach to Terrence Crawford. Pretty much, they try to blame it on Snack, you know, because of him, you know, distorting Errol Spence's appearance. Now, Norman, he goes viral.
I'm glad you said about Snack, but who is the first figurehead on Snack? Who is that?
Victor.
Isn't it Devin Haney?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it Devin Haney, the first person that put out Snack? So what are we talking about here? It's a contradictory that Bill Haney is creating, bro. Because who was the first fighter to ever put Snacks on their trunk? Who was that first fighter? Devin Haney.
I don't know if it was Devin Haney.
It was Devin Haney.
Mikey Garcia.
Okay. I said the person that's punching the narrative about that performance supplement, Devin Haney and Mikey Garcia were the first people to take that shit global. Go back to the YouTube, go back to all the commercials. You'll see Devin Haney in Floyd Gym with the black Snack shirt on, the black Snack shorts, and a bottle of Snack in his hand. Let's go back.
I see Crawford take a picture on the ring apron.
What
Devin Haney
got to do
with Snack.
Anything, though? What you mean by that, though?
In other words, it's a contradictory. How you gonna talk about drug testing when your son was the face of a major dietary supplement, man?
Snack is legit, though. You can't blame that for PEDs when it's a legit substance. I mean,
I'm not blaming it on a PED, man. I'm simply saying, is, well, what would convince you that Brian Norman do performance enhancement? What possess you to think that?
Well, I want to say salute. I appreciate you dropping that link, WCS, because I wanted to get in here, man. But because you kind of led the witness too when you asked him that question. So your name, Jaquil Owens. I wanted to. Oh, Mr. Owens from the other day. Yeah, I wanted to ask you. I was saying there was no testing for the Sasaki fight, so you don't find it suspicious that they asked to wait until August 1st? It's been literally a month. So to me, it kind of seemed like they trying to get it out their system. If it is something, like, what's the problem with taking the test? That's all I'm saying. You don't find that suspicious?
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? No.
Yeah.
Who want the test? That's what I'm saying. Tell me who want the test.
The Haneys want the test because they've been cheated before. So you should understand that. But
they know they're gonna have to take a test though. Listen, yeah. Ryan Garcia took a test. Brian Norman don't have no other choice but to take a test. He the world champion. Both of them got to take a test before and after. So
I know, but why they want to wait? And Brian Norman Sr. said he already signed for it, which was a lie. He lied about that because he didn't sign for it yet. So why did he lie about that? And why are they trying to prolong the testing? Why not just take the test?
right.
They probably tried to get ahead of the system.
I understand what you're saying. That, like I said, I'm with you when you're right. You know what I'm saying? It do look suspicious, but let's put it out there.
Man, don't nothing look suspicious. Like, you always,
I was just
Stop
waiting till
Canelo
it finished.
talking about somebody always leading somebody. Man, cut that nonsense.
This is what I'm saying, man. Listen, you ain't let me finish what I was finna say.
No, that was somebody else. That was IO that was just talking to BG.
I'm talking about he talking about you leading him. You ain't leading. You telling the truth. Devin Haney and Bill Haney need to stop this nonsense.
Yeah,
they just know they hanging on that rope that's about to break, and they trying to say anything to get out this fight. Now listen,
how they trying to get out the fight when they want to fight? They just want.
That's the next question. No, they don't want to fight him. They don't want to fight Brian Norman. They don't.
So if he take the drug test, they fighting. What's wrong?
Hey,
with
BG,
that?
hey, let me hear what IO got to say right quick.
Yeah.
Hey, this is my thing right here, bro. And I rock with Bill Haney and Devin Haney, but they need to stop the foolishness, bro. This what's going on right here. I don't give a damn. And I've been listening to your whole dialogue. Great dialogue, WCS. You killed it this morning, right? And I've been listening to it, right? Bill Haney and Devin Haney, they want to talk about, what Ryan Garcia did. Yeah, that's what Ryan Garcia did. That's what Ryan Garcia did. You can't put that jacket on everybody back. And like they said, Brian Norman is fucking out the country. Motherfucker just had a fight. The fuck he need to be here for to appease Bill Haney and Devin Haney. What they need to do is go focus in on not playing Tom and Jerry in this fight versus Brian Norman Jr. because he coming in there for real. And I think Devin Haney and them coming too. But with this VADA test, man, get the fuck out of here, man. This is live.
Bill and Devin been doing that shit for a minute though. Bill and Devin been doing that cat and mouse shit for a little while though.
With who? You talking about cat and mouse with drug testing?
With the fighters.
Nah, he haven't fought like that one time, bro.
Well, I'm talking about he's saying they just basically running their mouth.
Yo, but did you hear that question, Brim? Did you hear that question? Brim asked about who was signed up for VADA testing. There's not even that many fighters even signed up for VADA like that.
But why isn't more fighters signed for the Olympic style testing though?
Good question, because it costs money, Carlos. It costs money, first of all.
Hey, if these guys over here want to floss their chains and they whips, shit. They buying these expensive cars and they whips. I understand it's their money shit. But if you want your career to go right, you bet if you want to make sure you a clean fighter, put that money in for that. Because that's gonna be something that's gonna be worth to me.
I agree, but I gotta ask BG something. BG, you know good and well, Stephen Fulton, when he went over there and lost, nobody was talking about no drug tests, or they didn't have drug testing over there. It's been plenty of fighters go over there to Japan. But Brian goes over there and KOs a fighter that's already been KO'd. I just think it's extremely biased that you're going to put a jacket on him that, like IO said, Ryan Garcia was wearing. Ryan Garcia tested positive for OSTARINE. Now, all of a sudden, you drop the lawsuit. You want to get into a potential rematch with Ryan Garcia. He loses. Now, you want to say, okay, our focus is on Brian Norman Jr., but let's make it extremely difficult. It's pointless to me, man. You trying to sell a fight, or you trying to sabotage a fight?
And
WCS, they saw that video. They saw Brian Norman yoking up that damn security guard, and they said, let's make a phone call.
Let me WCS though. I'm not basing it.
And that's a great point right there. Like I say, these dudes who be big like that, they ain't really strong or nothing like that. Brian Norman could have unleashed that right hand and broke his shit.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not basing it off the Saski fight, but what I am basing it off of is the fact that Brian Norman Sr. literally came out and said there's no drug testing for this fight. So we know there was no drug testing. You know what I'm saying?
You say he said that?
Yeah, he said that on Mill City Boxing before the fight. I was telling you.
Okay, so he put it out to the public. Why is it being used against him, though, as if he was trying to keep a secret? You saying he lied about getting into testing when he told the public that testing is not going to happen in Japan.
He came on a Boxing Voice the day Ness did the interview with Turkey, specifically came on there and argued with Ness. Why did he ask that question when he told him we signed for VADA already? But at that point, He didn't even sign for VADA yet. So why did he lie about that? Why did you lie and say you signed up and you didn't sign up yet? So it makes it look really
Why does it
suspicious that
rain outside? Why
you
do it
don't
snow?
look.
Why do
You
we
lied
cut our
about.
grass?
Hold on, let me finish,
The
bro.
fuck?
You lied about signing up for VADA, and you're not willing to take the test right now, a month after the Sasaki fight where it was no drug testing. What is the big deal? You talking about you going out the country, but VADA come anywhere. So what's the big deal? Why not just sign for it instead of complicating the fight? If they want,
What's the big deal? Let me answer that question. What's the big deal? This nigga's out the motherfucking country. Why the fuck do he want to
he
stop
wasn't
his
out the
fucking
country when he
vacation?
wrote
Hold up
that.
real quick. Why do he want to stop his motherfucking vacation for VADA to show up at any motherfucking time? Devin Haney and Bill Haney need to go sit their ass down somewhere, bro, and wait for this dude to get back from his vacation. Nobody wants to say nothing to you, Devin Haney, when you were crying, moaning, and weeping, you and your father, when you took that whole year off. Nobody wants saying, where's Devin Haney?
Taking it personal. I'm looking at it as this is the fight. That's his biggest payday. So why wouldn't you sign for VADA? Why did you say you signed for VADA and you didn't? That's the biggest
Hold on,
question.
what fight is you talking about, bro?
He talking about Norman Sasaki. He talking about the Sasaki
No,
fight.
he did.
Hold up, this Sasaki
It
signed
was.
for VADA.
Look, it
This
wasn't no
Sasaki
testing
signed
in
for
that
VADA.
fight. But I'm saying this fight, Norman said that he already signed up for VADA, but he didn't. So why did he lie about that?
But he also presented there was some
Bullshit.
confusion. It was confusion on what he thought was something. I have to look at the video again, but he didn't say
know
it was
if it
some
was
like some confusion there.
He didn't know if it was
WCS.
365 or not, but he said that they signed up for VADA. He said they signed up and they didn't sign up. He lied about that. Why did he lie?
He probably was confused about what it was. He thought he signed up for 365 and it wasn't 365 though.
He didn't sign up at all though, is what I'm saying. He just literally
he ain't
lied
the
about
fighter. Who said it? His
thinking,
son or senior?
What I'm thinking what happened, they didn't like
Man, senior's
what
not
was
the
said.
fighter there, BG.
This is big business. So you gotta know
senior ain't the fighter, bro.
But he speaks for his son though, and he gotta know if
BG, man, you better come on now. He ain't the fighter, man. His son's the fighter.
You go back to rules, man. Once again, we at rules again.
My thing is, do the fighters have an option of like if they're presented with the VADA testing, do they have an option of like different options of if it's 365 or we don't want it 24/7 or is it?
They got the option.
So what I'm assuming is what happened is they didn't like what was going on as far as what VADA was showing them, and they decided not to sign. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they were going to sign first and then like the lane.
So my quick.
And let me get back to go ahead, Gumbo.
I've been quiet and I just want to pop up because Bud gonna stop Canelo. Let me address something because I've been listening to everything. I ain't been on YouTube, but I've been listening to all this. Let me get this clear. He know about the 360. But when they went to New York and met Burnham, they signed up for VADA then. Then, first of all, VADA ain't pushing, Sheik ain't pushing. How you want to force a man while you're on vacation, 2 weeks? Bro, you got how much time before VADA start testing?
126 days in August.
So
August 1st.
me, bro. You sound like you're pushing a narrative for the Haney's.
Talk to him, Gumbo.
No, let me finish. Don't really interrupt me because I've been listening. My thing is, when VADA gonna start testing, and they both gonna start testing, the man just fought, bro. It don't go on Bill Haney. They don't control boxing. They're just part of a boxing. Y'all with these weird ass narratives is sickening, bro. Appreciate it, WCS. I'm out.
Hey, hold up. Everybody give Mr. Gumbo a big old motherfucking hand clap for that. Goddamn it.
It's not about pushing a narrative. It's that
He done dropped the mic and rolled out.
When Brian Norman wrote that post, he wasn't out of the country yet, and he didn't go on vacation yet. He said he was going on vacation. So he wasn't on vacation yet. Y'all keep saying, "Oh, he's
so
on
who
vacation."
gives the fuck? He was going.
They can come anywhere. If you please, you got nothing to hide. Period.
Hold up, BG. Who gives a fuck? He was going on vacation, bro. He don't have to stop what he doing to appease to fucking Devin Haney and Bill Haney when this dude is the world fucking champion at 147, bro. That's what you forgetting. Y'all act like Devin Haney is this champion who's putting his title on the line. This nigga is going for Devin Haney. I mean, Devin Haney is going for his title. And as a champion, he got the right to do what the fuck he want to do after a big fight. He on vacation.
Can I just say one thing? One thing.
Yeah, go ahead, OG.
The point of the matter is what my man said is correct. First of all, Bill Haney don't got nothing to do with that man last fight. He ain't got shit to do with that. Then we have to go back to the rules again. Is it on the books that you gotta sign to take a drug test? Is it on the books?
Yes.
That's not on the books.
When it's a title fight?
Yeah, when it's a title fight. You said the difference. I said, is that on the books that he got to perform something? Did he fight Devin Haney or he fought a Japanese? Which one he fought?
He fought a Japanese dude.
Okay, well, Bill Haney don't got shit to do with that fight because that's not his promotion. And Brian Norman or the other kid ain't his fighter. So what he got to do, and it's just like this right here. What Ryan Garcia did is on Ryan Garcia. We talking about Brian Norman Jr., not Ryan Garcia. That's in the past.
It's still an experience. All I'm saying is it seems suspicious. If you wanna, what's the problem with taking a test if you have nothing to hide? That's all. I'm saying.
BG,
why look, hey BG, why should it be dictated by Bill? Like, come on, we've been through the buffoonery before with this shit on YouTube with him and Teofimo Lopez, him and whoever else you want to include. Now all of a sudden, Norman comes off a freaking fight camp, goes over there and get the job done, comes back from Japan, and he can't go on vacation in peace. You saying he gotta take 2 weeks out of his life and then get back in after he comes off vacation at the end of the month. He got to get into testing, which he's gonna be locked in fight camp. So you're trying to tell me that's what he has to do?
This is what he signed up for. But we seen what Ryan did, and then we seen what happened when Devin basically forced Ryan to get on VADA, and we seen the outcome. So why wouldn't he protect his investment by getting this man drug tested, especially knowing he came off a devastating knockout without drug testing? And it's only a month. It's kind of essential to do. You will want this person to get on drug testing.
Now, BG, hold on real quick, BG. I give you credit. Now, you're right about that, right? And I give you credit about that. He is supposed to protect his fighter. But my guy, we damn near 4 months away from the goddamn fight. He be protecting them this goddamn early. Now, hold up. You said something earlier, right? You said it's suspicious. It's suspicious. Now, I want to ask you this, BG. Is suspicious a misdemeanor or a felony?
Yeah.
It's nothing serious, but y'all saying
this is a misdemeanor or a felony, BG. Which one is it, dog?
It's neither. But
it's neither.
If anyone, it'd be a misdemeanor, but it's neither. But I'm saying, if y'all saying it's a deal breaker by him asking for the drug test, how is it not a deal breaker to not take it? Like you're not gonna take the fight because they want you to sign up for VADA? That's the same thing.
Did they ask him? Did they ask him while the actual testing had begun, or this is prior to the testing? They said the testing date. Was this on the 2 weeks before he was supposed to get tested?
The contractual agreement is August 1st for them to go into freaking testing.
Okay. When did he go on vacation?
He's going. Look, when he announced he's going on vacation, all of a sudden Bill want to come up. They didn't talk about it in New York and all that shit.
Right, but my question is, when did he go on vacation? Did he go on vacation yet?
Yeah, he's on vacation right now, like a couple of days ago.
Leaving today.
I thought he was already gone, man.
Okay, so if he's on vacation and if he's on vacation and they're trying to get him before that, then if I'm the fight, I'm like, look, I don't have to take this shit until the first. It don't mean I'm hiding nothing, but I'm not contractually obligated to take this test yet.
They was trying to do it before he went on vacation.
But why though? Why go through all the tussling over there in New York? Nothing is talked about, and then you get back to the States. This man is planning on going on vacation. You want to be an antagonizer, and you say, "Hey, I want to put him on." He did the same shit, BG, with Ryan Garcia when he was on suspension. He wasn't even set to fight Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia was fighting Rolly, and he said, "I want Ryan Garcia to get on testing right now." And Ryan said,
Bill's scared for his son. He's scared for his son.
Kick rocks. And,
But
and,
look,
and
He's
look,
scared for
Devin was
Devin.
going in there
Look,
fighting
That
Jose
man ain't
Ramirez,
scared
bro.
for shit.
how can,
That
He's
look,
man
scared for
ain't
Devin.
scared.
He's scared for
He ain't
Devin,
scared
Goldie.
for Devin.
Because if he was confident, he wouldn't even care. Listen, you could take the test after the first. I'm not worried about
how
it
can
right
we
now.
see? How
So
That
can
it's
we
man
like,
ain't
see?
scared at
why is he
all.
trying to do all these mind games and stuff before the fight? It's like,
Good question. I don't
dude,
know,
like
man.
I want to. If you that confident in your son, just follow the contract the way it is and do it.
Facts.
Why you got to
I
do all
don't
this
think the
extra shit? Nah,
contract.
to me,
I don't.
that's I don't know.
How
Can
can
I ask
My,
y'all
Devin?
a question?
my whole take on the situation is this: what everybody's saying is the truth. He is scared for his son because let's think about it. Ryan Garcia would have beat Devin Haney if he wasn't on shit.
Nah, I'm not.
Yeah.
See, that's your
Nah.
opinion, bro. And most people had Devin Haney winning that fight, but
And how Devin Haney was gonna win that thing? He punched like a pillar.
I picked
How he was
Ryan
gonna win?
Garcia to win, one of the few people. But most people had Devin Haney outclassing Ryan Garcia. So let's not even start that narrative,
In
man.
what fight?
What
Garcia
Devin
versus
Haney
Devin?
about that
Devin
star?
against
He
Ryan.
was
Devin
beating the
against
shit out of
Ryan.
Devin, pillar to
Thank
post,
you. That's all
Hold
I'm
on,
saying.
hold
pillar
on.
to
That's
Can
all
I
I'm
post.
say
saying.
something?
What?
Can I say something? Can I
So,
say something? If y'all don't mind, if y'all go back, Bill Haney put the scorecard up on the thing. Devin was winning that fight. The only reason why Ryan won that fight was because of them 3
The
knockdowns.
knockdowns, exactly.
The
So
3
that's
on the
on
judges'
PEDs.
There
scorecard,
was,
Ryan was winning the
in
fight.
no way, shape,
The
or form
third,
in that whole fight did
listen,
Devin control any part of that
But
fight.
listen.
OG
Yes, he did.
Golden, isn't that a part of the fight though? From
Yes, sir.
round to round. I
Round to round,
mean,
and the judges had it. The judges had Devin winning that fight. Them 3 knockdowns was security for Ryan. If you look
Exactly.
at it
this is what I'm saying
after
to
the first
you.
knockdown,
Oh,
after the
oh,
first knockdown, Devin
But
regrouped.
this is
Devin
what I'm
was fighting the
saying
way
to
he was
you.
supposed to fight that fight. Devin
It's not.
fucked up.
You missed
Devin
what I was
fucked up.
saying. You missed what I was saying. The whole point.
Nah,
I said Ryan Garcia would have beat Devin Haney. This is why I said what I said.
that's not true.
Devin Haney
Can't say
does
that.
not sit down on that one punch that he throws.
he
He's a
don't need to.
boxer.
He
He's
don't
a
He
have
don't
to.
need
boxer.
to.
He don't
All
have
He
to.
right.
don't
That's a
need
You
lie.
right.
to.
That's a lie.
You right.
Hey, John Quill.
He was
That's
in
a
the
Yeah.
lie.
mid range the whole
Hey, John
fight
Quill.
versus
John
Ryan.
Quill. Mr.
Yeah.
Lawrence, I
Yeah.
apologize, sir, but that's a lie. I mean, Devin Haney do sit down on his punches. He probably not the hardest puncher, but he do
That's
sit
not.
down on his
He
shots. He
look,
does.
Devin do what he got to do to win, and he only lost when got cheated, which is why it's a no contest. But one thing I want to tell y'all off topic, not about PEDs or none of that, is I rewatched the Jen Sasaki fight yesterday, and Jen Sasaki threw all hooks the whole fight, left and right hooks, wild left and right hooks. It was nothing to set him up. That fight make it looks better than it actually was. So if Devin show up, this is definitely a way closer fight than y'all think it is because Devin can jab, Devin can box, Devin can move. Jen Sasaki was throwing nothing but hooks the whole fight. So
No,
that was
did you say the same thing about Rolly when he fought Ryan Garcia? He was throwing them but left hooks too, right? Was it the same? Did you want him to get tested?
Devin is a better fighter. I'm not saying I want him to get tested because of the Jan Sasaki fight, but I'm saying that it was no testing in that fight. So by not being tested in that fight, he could have been dirty and he could still be dirty and
How?
trying to cycle out
Why?
right now.
Why wasn't it
That's my
testing
point.
though? Why
Because I
wasn't it
guess
testing
Oh,
in the fight?
In Japan, they
because
don't
it
do no
was in
testing.
Japan.
No. Hey, OG, I'm just saying, like
Oh,
BG is speaking about it's no testing, right? So don't act like it's Team Norman who requested no testing. If
No,
it's
they
no
didn't,
testing in
but
Japan, he still got paid. He went over there and put another win on his record. That don't have
yeah.
nothing to do with them, bro.
but him trying to wait makes it seem like he's trying to
But
cycle
they
off.
didn't
They just
have
want to
nothing
make
to do with
sure.
Japan not testing the fighters.
I know that, but Bill want to make sure he not cycling off,
Well, how
trying
can you
to
prove
get
Brian
clean.
on the
That's
dirty,
all he's
dude?
trying
You
to
got the
do.
piss test results.
Y'all
but
don't
hey,
You got piss test
still to
results.
make sure August the 1st, when it's
Can
when
y'all
it's
not understand that though? You get an extra 2 weeks to cycle off.
bro,
Now,
I
That's
now,
don't give a
now,
ridiculous.
fuck
now, no,
about,
you
man. You
don't.
sound
Come
silly,
on, bro.
bro.
You don't even. First of all, let's just
Sound silly.
fighter was on the juice. You don't know how much juice he was on. You don't know what type of ped they was on, or none of that.
Right,
You
that's
just
true.
don't get no laxative and say, let me go to Walgreens and get some laxative so I can cycle off this. It doesn't work like that. You
But
can still test positive after 30 days for
that
a ped.
that's true. But I'm saying 6 weeks, 4 weeks testing is better than 6 weeks testing. 6 weeks is extra time. But I
So,
just don't understand what's the big
But
deal.
bro, why
Why
do he
can't they
so,
want to
just
get
test?
stuck with a needle before he got to?
When's
This is
their
my
so,
fight?
thing right here.
so this
BG.
ain't enough
Oh, I'm
testing,
sorry,
BG.
WCS.
No, go ahead, IO.
No, I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead. I'll interrupt it.
No, I'm just saying this ain't enough days to test.
It's enough days, but I don't
Man,
understand why it's a
goddamn.
deal breaker. Why they gotta just risk the fight to not take a test?
But bro,
Man, who
It just,
gives a fuck about this fight if Devin Haney don't want it? If
we
they doing all
want this
man,
fight,
tell that nigga to go on somewhere else.
man. We
You
want
want a
this
Are they
nigga to
fight.
signed?
start getting
It's,
stick?
ain't nobody else for
Hey,
Norman to
BG,
fight,
you
bro.
want a nigga to start getting stick with needles before he got to, huh?
Look,
Are they
No,
Norman,
signed?
this is
it's called.
Norman.
It's called. It's called. This is what it's called. Don't get me wrong. I like Norman. I'm going. I would love to see Norman. I'm a
I
Georgia
like
boy,
Norman
you
too.
know, right? But at the end of the day, I don't see nothing wrong with him go ahead and start a tester now because
Exactly.
it do look suspicious.
No,
He
it
said
don't.
listen. Hold on, Al. It do look kind of suspicious. He set a specific day that he want to start a tester.
Hey,
Okay,
okay.
and
Just like I
Let
set a
me ask the
specific day, I
question. Let
want
me
to
ask
go
the
to
question real quick.
just like
Let
I
me
set
ask
a
the question real
specific
quick.
day, I want to go to the PO box. What's the big deal?
Let me ask the question real quick. Hold on. Let me ask the question real quick. If
Go
you
ahead.
at your job, right? Like you apply for a job, right? And your starting day is August 1st, but they ask you to work 2 weeks before that with no pay. You gonna do it?
No.
All
Yeah.
right then.
Thank you.
All
And
right
this the
then.
thing right here, and that's a great boy. Oh, who said that? Carlos Rosado?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, boy, that was excellent. And this the thing right here too. You know when you're gonna have to take that P test before you go to that job, bro. Just like
Right.
Brian Norman know when he gonna have to start doing the VADA testing. Shout out to who was that on here? Mr. Golden, right? I get it. What y'all saying is suspicious, but we can't go off people insecurities around here.
I
Because
understand that,
hold
but
up real quick. Hold up, Mr. I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
give you 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds. Like I said, y'all can look at it and say it's suspicious. We can't care about y'all insecurities, right? This the thing right here. Devin Haney them is emotional wrecks right now, and I get it. I'm not looking past that they got cheated. But like I said, they can't put that jacket on everybody back, right? And if we're gonna say anything, since y'all want to bring up, I hate when y'all do this, right? Because Devin Haney is with Snack, right? And y'all can say what the
You
fuck
can't
y'all want
say,
to say.
bro. You
He
can't
is
use
no,
that
no.
point,
Hold on,
bro.
let me finish real quick. I'm just saying, he was Snack. He like I'm just saying. So y'all need to stop, bro. Devin Haney and his daddy is trying to push a bullshit narrative for nothing, and y'all falling right into it, talking about this
Now,
suspicious.
Al, I'm gonna say
Nigga
this
just
to
won the
you.
belt. He can't go on
Prime example,
vacation.
Al, with you, Mr. ROTBA. Let that would have been had Terrence Bud Crawford denying that shit. You'd have been all over this motherfucker
For L.
shit.
Spence, yeah,
You
But
he
would
was
have
just
been
going
no,
crazy.
even
Yeah, but you
even in
can't
them
you
I
fights
can't
don't
use
know
right
that as
here,
about
an
the deny.
example.
That
You
even
can't
in
because
use
them
that as
fights
an
right here,
example,
he might
Golden.
have a
listen,
point. He
fam.
might have a point.
You can't use that as an example,
Let's
Golden,
Thank
because
you.
Yes, hold
Terrence
on, hold
Crawford
on, hold
never
on,
got caught
hold on,
dirty.
hold on.
It don't matter.
Can I finish? It doesn't matter. Boy, they never popped dirty. Even on this Canelo fight. And then it came and Terrence said, hey, let's start volunteering. Boston Dama wait the Pacific thing. Oh, you would have
Y'all
drugged
will
that
be
shit in the
going
ground.
crazy.
You
No, no,
would have
no,
had
no,
Hell
drugged
no.
that
no.
Listen,
shit in the
Hell no,
fucking
hold
because
on,
ground.
Mr. Golden.
that's when
but we got to
that's when
stay
the
on
Mr.
contract
topic.
Golden,
starts.
I'm not refuting
Even
anything you saying.
before the
Mr.
contract,
Golden,
even before the contract, hold on, I'm not talking to you, Arrow. I'm responding to somebody else. Even before the contract was said it started, didn't want Bud to start testing it earlier and let that nigga went ahead and said that, oh no, I'm not gonna do it until time for the contract. And they
no.
already
Yep.
are accusing us
Damn
And they
right
right.
had
here.
a million
Damn
videos.
right.
They
Mr. Golden,
already
Because I'm not
accusing us.
obligated to do
It
that.
would have
You
been
can't
a
force me
hundred.
to do something that I didn't sign a contract for
that's
yet.
But
Bush
no,
League,
but you
Mr.
missed.
Exactly.
Golden.
You
That's
missing
Bush
what I'm
League,
saying.
Mr. Golden.
They would have killed Bud for this shit.
No,
They
but
would have
you
drugged Bud, and they
but
already dragged the name in mud.
see,
They
like
would
I hate when y'all
super
do this,
drag the
right?
name in the mud.
No, the
Y'all
Lions Den
always
would have killed him.
say,
The
why do
Lions
y'all
Den would have killed
always
him.
bring Bud into the? I ain't mentioning
Yeah,
nothing
true.
But
about Bud.
I'll show you
And,
the bias
and,
how it is with Devin. Not because of Devin saying it.
and
It's
No,
something
listen,
my
wrong
thing
with
is
that.
No,
my
no,
thing
but
is if you have a
look,
history, if you have
can
a
say
history
this.
of it, if you have a history of something, yeah, if there's smoke, then we're gonna be like, yeah, but if we
But
know that
Bud had a
Bud
history.
never
No,
it was
we
never
got to
tested
stay on
positive for
Devin. We got to
nothing,
stay
then
on Devin
Mr.
and Brian Norman for real because
But
I understand where
yeah.
IO was coming from. Let's
I'm
just say
sorry,
IO.
but I
Let's
was just
just say
making a
IO
point.
was biased. That's a whole nother situation. Okay, first of all, we're dealing with a father. Crawford ain't got his father in the freaking stage trying to be in the video dancing. I'm just telling you, when it comes to this particular circumstance with Brian Norman, I know a lot of people weren't saying anything when he came off the Santion fight. He
but
sat there
look,
and went life and limb with Santion, and nobody
but it
wasn't talking about
right.
getting no
was
drug
saying
It
testing.
nothing.
was But
But
look, but I
talk to
want
him,
look,
WCS.
Mr. LTBA brought up Snack, which is why we brought up
No,
Crawford. Because
hold on real quick.
hold on,
Let me
let
say
me
this
finish,
real quick,
bro.
BG.
Hold on, let me
I
finish
want to
real
say this.
quick.
Like, that's the reason why I respect Terrence Crawford. I know y'all think I respect the shit out of Terrence Crawford, right? Because we know Canelo team done pop dirty 7 times. I bet you don't hear Bud coming out saying this and that. I bet you don't hear him saying
But
no
look,
shit like that.
but look, by you
Cause
saying
look, wait till
you
y'all
bringing up.
hear wait till y'all hear this interview I did with Sergio Mora, and he told you who Bud is and what a man say. Hold up, you ain't gonna hear. But so if Bud ain't asking about shit, I don't want to hear none of these other mark ass fighters asking about nothing. You ain't gonna hear Terrence Crawford come out and say shit like this. But y'all crying for Devin Haney when Terrence Crawford is the
Everybody
talk
crying
of
for
the
Devin Haney.
Hold on,
The man,
hold on.
every big
Nah, he
fight is
got
man
no.
about to go
IO got a
into.
point.
It's going to
IO
be the
got a
same
point
thing.
because
You
Canelo
bring
is Bud ain't calling for Canelo all this rehydration clause. I'm gonna make sure he tests and clean and all that. No, man, they just
look,
get straight to it.
but
Norman and
but
Haney signed?
but
Are they signed?
LTBA bringing up Snack saying, "Oh, Devin is on Snack,
No,
so
I
how is
just
he going? Hold on, so how is he going to question somebody on PD?" That's the same people saying, "Oh, who cares if Canelo on PDs because Bud on Snack." You can't use that as an
no. This is what
example.
I
Snack
said
is
that for.
legit.
But BG, let me tell you why I said that, right? This is because y'all want to bring up accusations against Brian Norman Jr., right? So I'm just
We're
playing.
not
I'm playing.
accusing him.
Hold on, real quick. I'm just playing devil's advocate. That's all I was doing, right? Y'all want to say something about Brian Norman Jr. when he ain't never test positive for a motherfucking thing. The only reason why I brought up snacking, right? And this is my thing right here. If you ain't test positive for it, nigga, I ain't gonna put that jacket on your back. But what I bring it up for is y'all want to sit up here and hot side on Brian Norman Jr. when Victor Conte has been convicted of that shit. So stop hot siding on Brian Norman Jr.
Bro,
when he ain't never been
And
tested.
see,
that
that's
Hold on
has
another
real quick,
thing.
Mr. Golden.
See,
5 more seconds. 5 more seconds.
See, that's
that,
another thing y'all do that
No,
I don't like.
no, I'm
Y'all,
just saying, stop
hold on,
hot siding.
Al. Let me make my point. And that's not only goes in boxing. This goes in society. Period. Stop bringing up what a motherfucker did in this goddamn past and he already paid time for. Because y'all act
exactly.
like a motherfucker, a nigga done did something in the past that he can't reform.
Okay, no,
That's
that's cool, but
hold on. Let me finish make my point, Al. Because that's some fuck shit that everybody keep doing.
but
You
look,
feel
I
what I'm saying?
never.
I'm speaking. The reason I'm speaking the way and I'm so passionate about this shit, because I'm speaking from experience on that shit.
You
Mr.
can't
Golden,
condemn
let me
him
tell
for
you
that.
Y'all
something,
look
Mr.
at
Golden.
hold on. Y'all look at because a man did something in his past. He came out, he paid the time, he debts to society,
I was
he
just
reformed
playing
himself, he
devil's
cleaned himself
advocate,
up. But
Mr. Golden.
people keep holding that shit over their head. And that's some
Mr.
fucked up
Golden.
shit.
And they
Mr.
never
Golden.
held it over
I
his
was just
head
Okay,
until
playing
let,
blood
hold
be
on, Mr.
spent.
Golden. I was just playing devil's advocate. They trying to put
I
this.
understand you paying double effort out, but what I'm saying is
The only reason
everybody
why I
keeps saying,
said that
hey, hold on,
is
all y'all keep saying what Victor Cote did in his
no,
past. He was
but
convicted
Crawford
of that
ain't never
shit.
tested positive for shit. That's
But
the
hold on, I'm not talking
So
about Norman.
no,
so
but
why
what
bring up
no. What
Snack?
I'm saying is no,
I'm talking
nigga,
about
you
Victor
said
Cote.
it was suspicious.
Hold
It
on,
is.
So you no, you
listen.
said, hold up, Mr. Golden, real quick. Just give me 10
Uh-huh.
seconds. Nigga, you said it's suspicious.
I said it
Brian
looks
Norman,
suspicious.
hold up,
Hold
he
on.
ain't never
I
been
never
caught for
accused.
shit. Now what's
I never accused.
suspicious is
Hold on.
motherfuckers working with
Listen,
Victor Conte. That's
listen,
suspicious.
listen to what I'm saying, Al. Al,
this
listen
a
to what
little,
I'm
this a
saying.
little.
Hold on for a minute, y'all. Let me finish making my point.
Go ahead.
Listen to it. I said it looks suspicious. I never have accused Brian Norman. I said it looks suspicious because he uses a specific date. But what
Right.
I was getting on everybody about, and also you about, stop accuse because a motherfucker did something in his past. Stop
Right.
using it against that
Stop
motherfucker.
bringing up Snack.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Stop
tell
Stop,
you
bringing
like
up
stop.
this.
Snack, bro.
This had nothing to do. Like I say, it ain't had nothing to do with
Okay,
nobody boxing, nobody period.
okay.
Okay,
My
so
Stop
what's the
question.
using this
percentage
shit.
of
We all
criminals?
have. Listen.
Hold
We
on,
all
hold on.
have fucked up. We
Hold
all
on,
did
real
some
quick.
shit
No,
in
we
our
are, we
past.
are, we
But
are.
Hold on,
somebody
real
keep
quick.
bringing it up to us
We are,
about
but
that
what's the
shit. That's
percentage of
fucked up.
criminals doing a crime and going back to jail for it? They'll
That's
commit that crime again,
guess
so
what?
don't act like it won't happen.
Hold on.
But
I'm
he
asking you a
It may
haven't.
question.
happen.
He
Has the
haven't.
man went back to jail for it yet?
Bro, but
Has he went back to jail?
hold up. See,
No,
there you
he
go.
did not.
There you go. You trying to go you trying to go away from what I'm
No, I'm
saying.
not going away
No,
from
hold up,
her.
Mr. Golden, because I'm
Right.
not even on that. I'm saying you on here talking about this suspicious and talking about because he giving the day. He a grown ass man who just
Yeah, he
had
a
a
grown
fight.
ass man.
He can say what the
He's
fuck
a
he
grown
want
ass
to say.
man. Right, he is a grown ass man. But my point is, what I was talking about now, the shit that just came out your motherfucking mouth. Oh, what Victor Cote did in his
Bro, you
past.
said it's
No, you
suspicious
just hold
for
on. This
Brian
ain't got nothing to do with Brian
Norman.
Norman now. This ain't got nothing with
How's it
Brian Norman or
suspicious
anybody
for
else.
Brian
The first
Norman?
thing came out my
No,
mouth.
hold up.
Hold on. The first thing came out my mouth was this ain't got nothing. Not only about Boston, this about society. Period. I said,
And
motherfucker
look,
need to
I
stop
think
bringing shit up about a
I
motherfucker what
think
the fuck they did in the goddamn pad. If he don't pay the
No,
debt to
no,
society
no.
and a
I'm
nigga
not
trying
gonna
to
let
change his life around, stop holding
you
that
right.
shit over his head.
No, you're right, and that is what you said. But let me tell you
That's what I'm
what.
saying. And it
No,
had
that's
nothing to
what.
do. I didn't have anything to do with any boxing shit.
No.
I'm sick of that shit
And I
because
get it.
it's
I
fucked
respect
up.
that.
Because when a nigga did in his past, he don't pay the debts as a tithe. Let that shit go.
Who
Let it
let what
go.
go? Let
Hold up,
what
Mr.
go?
Go.
Let
Mr.
what
What I'm
go,
Go.
saying is,
OG?
hold on.
the fact he got
WCS.
convicted
What
for
I'm saying is,
Hey,
PEDs.
what I'm saying
the
is,
good. Hey, hold up, Mr. Golden. The good book tells us to judge righteously. So
and it also,
if a
it
motherfucker did
also
something in the
tells,
past, and it also says to forgive, treat people with kindness, but it don't say you have to be nice.
and it also said, he who have not sinned cast the first stone.
Mr. Golden, see, you
That's
But
missing
see,
true.
the
So if
whole
you
point.
bring the good
but
book
see,
in
That's
there,
true.
we're
But
Mr.
talking about
Golden,
placing
I'm
but
gonna
blame
I
tell
on
can
you.
still,
people.
I can
let's
still, I
finish.
can still, I
Hey,
can
hold on for
still
a
listen.
second.
Listen, I can still,
Hold on,
Hold
let,
up for a
let
second,
Mr.
in my
Carlos.
mind, I can
Hey,
still,
hold
I
up
can
for a
still
second,
let,
keep
let the
Carlos.
you.
host go, bro. Let
Hold up
WCS
for a
go.
second, Carlos.
Go ahead.
All I can say to that is this man was a part of one of the huge Balco scandals ever in professional sports. This just wasn't no, low key, rinky dink,
It wasn't.
type of
It
scandal that he
wasn't.
was in. But
It wasn't.
let's not understand. Let's not forget that when it comes to Crawford's criticism, since his name popped up, they always bring up Gamboa. Why? That happened years ago. He won the
Thank
fight.
you.
Mm-hmm.
So when it
Mm-hmm.
come down to this snack shit, hey, people gonna talk about it forever. I'm not using it, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, if you want to be petty, Devin went over to Australia twice, there, BG, right?
Yep.
So did you
Don't touch
question
him.
was he getting tested over there in Australia when he
Ooh,
won
Mm.
No,
twice?
no,
ooh,
because I mean I
ooh.
knew he was on getting tested already.
How you know?
I mean, but was he did any protest go up for Devin over in Australia twice, facing Cambosis that he need to get tested because he won both times?
No,
All the reason the Tesla stuff is coming up is because of the situation with Ryan Garcia.
I
No.
look.
Listen,
We
This
all
is what
know.
I
We
think.
all know
Hold
where
on,
it's
Mr.
coming from.
Golden.
And I
This is
still
what
hold on.
I
I still
think.
believe any big fight that Devin's going into now. Because if you look at it, he didn't say nothing about beat all this testing and shit in the last fight. He didn't say
of
that.
course. Look who his
But
Because he was
opponent
but
on
I'm
was.
looking at any.
365. Ramirez
Listen,
was on
Look
listen.
who his
365
opponent
I,
testing.
was, Mr.
listen.
Golden.
I'm looking. Thank you. You listen to what I'm saying, Arrow. Anybody from here on out, any big fight Devin going into, it's gonna be that.
It's
Look,
supposed to.
It's gonna be that.
hey,
We
Hold
we
on,
Mr.
we,
Mr.
we
Golden.
Golden.
come up
Look,
with that.
I personally think that the problem is Brian Norman Sr. He don't want to be, I'm gonna say, little boy for lack of a better words,
No,
by
no,
Bill
no,
Haney.
no.
So because he's been doing that since they first even talked about the fight. He don't
And you
get.
don't think
That's why.
that Bill brings that on? Bill's
I
bring
mean,
on
but
that type of
that's the
energy, bro.
reason I think he don't want to take the testing is because of that. Which, and I
Is
think
the
that's
fight
kind of
signed?
immature.
No. Hold up. You talking about
Yeah,
the
after my knowledge, the
testing?
fight is
See,
signed.
there you now,
The
do
fight is
you see
signed.
what? But
It's on
Yeah,
Box Track right here,
When
bro.
they
BG, you see
fighting?
how you know how you
Yeah.
told me,
November,
BG, I was
November
leading.
22nd, man.
You know how BG, you know how you told me I was leading.
Okay, I'm gonna say
Jose
The
something at the
witness.
LTBA.
Ramirez.
Yeah, leading
You,
the
you know,
witness.
you know how I was leading the witness. You see how you leading the public. You see
Look,
how you
I'm just
leading the
saying.
public with this bullshit
November
that you doing.
22nd, Carlos.
No, I'm saying you see you
Oh,
talking about the test, bro.
November
It's
22nd. Okay,
It's August 1st, bro. And
right.
I'm gonna just make this quick point. Just give me, hey, Mr. Golden. I brought Victor Conte up is because people on this panel is trying to say it's suspicious with Brian Norman Jr. with it ain't nothing out there on him. Right? Only reason why I play devil's advocate to bring him up, because Devin Haney and them trying to throw this accusation on him when it's a cloud over them. You right. Victor Conte does deserve a second chance. Shout out to his daughter Cynthia Conte. We seen her. She know how we feel. We talk to her all the time. Right? But the thing is, don't do that to Brian Norman Jr. if you don't want us to bring that up about
no.
Devin Haney
I
talking about himself. Hold on,
listen.
I'm
It's
Mr.
the.
Golden.
Go ahead. Go
Let me finish.
ahead. Go ahead.
All I'm saying is you can't say that about Brian Norman Jr. if you don't want people to say that about Devin Haney. That's all I'm
I
saying.
agree.
Hold
I
on, hold on,
agree.
y'all.
They don't have to take the test right now because they didn't sign for a specific date. I feel like they saying August 1st. Just that's when they want to sign for it. They have a right to refuse the testing, but if it's gonna jeopardize the fight, why not just sign up for it? That's all
Bro,
I'm saying.
Devin Haney is
Let's
like a
say, hold on.
non-factor.
Let's say, hold on.
Brian Norman is 24 years old, bro. Devin Haney 27. I get it. But Brian Norman don't need Devin Haney. If Devin Haney feel like he could do something different, go and piss off Turk
Who
and pull
Brian
out this
Norman
fight.
gonna fight though?
Piss
Ain't
off
nobody
Turk.
else at
Hold up. Piss
47.
off Turk. Piss off Turkey Al-Sheik and pull out this fight.
Hold
Pull
up.
a kid off.
Hold up.
Do that if you
Let's
want to,
say,
Devin. I dare you.
I,
I double dare you.
hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Let's say Brian does take the test, right? Let's say he does take the test before August 1st, and they say he does have some trace of something in his system, right? But
Yep.
from the point on, between August and November, he's clean, and they fight in November. What was the point of that?
If he
But see, we
tested
going off
positive, I
ifs
wouldn't
and
even take the
hypotheticals,
fight.
Carlos, now.
I wouldn't take the
But
fight if
that's
he
what the
had a
Bill and
trace.
them are going off of. Bill and them are
But
going off of
I don't
hypotheticals,
care
and
what
they're going
Bill
off of
and
that.
Devin say. I don't
So
care what they
BG, you
say.
say you wouldn't take the fight if he tested positive during the 2 weeks Bill testing him?
Yeah, I wouldn't take the fight. I
So
wouldn't
Yeah.
take
how did Bill's son know that Ryan's gonna test positive? You think
Oh.
he taught the pops? He
He didn't
said, hey, he's gonna test dirty.
look.
So
Mhm.
he ended up
Now,
testing dirty. Why he didn't tell his dad those concerns before the
Look,
fight?
hold up, BG.
Sean
Let me
Haney
got you. Let
said,
me get you with this
no,
one,
let me
BG.
answer that.
I
Let me
got your
answer that,
back on
Mr.
this one.
Golden.
Let me
Sean
get your
Haney
back on
said,
this one, BG. Let me get your back on this one now. WCS. Now I agree with you, but I just think that his son was just throwing that out there, just saying some stuff. But it came
he
true.
specifically said, I thought Ryan Garcia was going to test positive for cocaine or something. He didn't know it was going to be PEDs when he said that. He just had the feeling he was going to test positive and fail a drug test on cocaine or something, not
But he
PEDs.
ain't never failed a drug test for cocaine before.
But the build-up, he was acting strange. We know why now.
He said he
That's
was
the thing.
drinking. He said he was drinking and smoking. He didn't say he was snorting.
I mean,
There
but
was videos of him drinking and
that's what
smoking
people
too.
were saying though. People were saying, "Oh, he on cocaine, he this and that." So that's why he just had the thought of, "Did he gonna test positive?" It wasn't about PEDs though. That's all I'm
I
saying.
just don't understand why Team Norman have to somewhat
Yeah.
bow down and be a subordinate to Team Haney.
They
You know what
they
I'm saying?
don't, and
No,
that's
they
what I'm,
don't.
and
They
that's why
don't.
I feel like
Right.
Ryan
I don't think they
Norman
need. I
looking
don't
at
think
it
they
as
do
he has
neither.
to bow down. That's why he not doing it. But if it's gonna jeopardize the fight, why not just do it, man?
But
You
What?
don't
who is
got
the
nothing to
reason?
Jeopardize a
hide.
fight? Uh,
Who is the reason it's gonna jeopardize? You blame that on Brian Norman if this fight gets jeopardized,
If he don't
BG?
have nothing to hide, why not
Now
just take
answer
the
my
test?
question, sir. I said, are you blaming Brian Norman if he don't take the test right now? If this fight gets jeopardized, that's all I'm asking. Yes or no? And I shut up.
Yeah, I would put they putting the
Okay.
fight in jeopardy by not
All right.
starting the
Oh
drug
wow.
testing,
so if
knowing they
Bill,
Wow.
if
know
I don't think
they
Bill,
the
know
fight
what
will be
Devin
in
went
jeopardy.
through.
so if
I don't think the
Bill,
fight will be in jeopardy because he's volunteered to go 2 weeks ahead of time, but the contract is stipulating 8 weeks before the fight.
Yeah. So
My
Because
they
point.
even
My point is
but
though that's
but
my
still
point though.
right,
But that's
but
my
still
point though. My point is if he was
right.
popped, if they say if he popped dirty, if he did take the test and he supposedly had some trace of something in him prior to the contractual test that they had to take, and he ended up taking the test prior to the fight all those weeks, and he's clean the whole time. What's the point?
Devin is taking a
That's the
dangerous
right. I
fight.
understand.
We
Right.
all know
Who
what he
cares
went through
what
with
Devin
Ryan
is doing?
Garcia.
That's
Why?
him.
How come they can't understand where he
That's
coming from?
Devin,
That's all I'm
bro.
saying.
That's Devin. Who cares? We ain't listen. If I'm Brian Norman Jr., you know what? I look elsewhere because I ain't got time for this bullshit right here. Like real talk, Devin Haney ain't no big factor. Like
But
it's a good
Devin
name.
Haney, well, right now, Al, you got to give the man his due. Right now,
No,
Devin
I
Haney.
like Devin Haney,
Hold
bro.
on. Listen, what I'm going to say. Right now, Devin Haney is the only one out there with the biggest name who's willing to fight anybody.
Exactly,
I
Everybody else
know.
is bullshit
especially at
running.
147. He
anybody,
was
Is he
fighting.
real? Is he willing?
Just about,
anybody.
just about.
Well,
Devin willing to step in. He willing to step in with boots. He willing to step in with any of them. I
Wow,
give Devin
really?
that respect.
That's false information right there now.
But,
No,
but
that's
this ain't got
true.
nothing.
That's
This ain't got
true.
Yeah,
nothing.
that
That's
is
true.
false
I agree with you,
information.
Mr.
yeah, I
Golden.
never
Wow.
heard that.
Boots
Mr.
wanted
He,
to
Golden.
he
You
fight
called
are
Devin.
Boots up.
no,
Did,
Mr.
Devin
Golden.
wanted to
did
You
he
are
fight
say he would
Boots,
Mr.
fight
but Boots
Boots?
wanted it at
Now y'all
52, and
can't
Devin
argue
said
with Mr.
no.
Golden on that. Now Devin do fight everybody. I give him that. I just don't like these bullshit. Now listen, let me be fair about it. I understand why the Haneys feel like they feel, but I don't care of their insecurity because of what Ryan Garcia did. I'm not gonna let them put that jacket on Brian Norman. Now I understand what they doing, but I don't care
IO.
because Brian Norman ain't never been caught for nothing. Until he do, then y'all could start being suspicious and tell me if
IO.
it's a misdemeanor
I
or a
wasn't
felony.
putting no out.
IO.
I
Look,
wasn't putting nothing
Hey,
on Brian. No,
I
saying
want
that
to
he
get
ever
to
bought
Dr.
it
Marks. I want to get
because
to Dr.
I
Marks'
can't. That
comment
man ain't
right
never
quick.
popped dirty.
What you
I
say,
was saying
WCS?
I
hey,
got
hold
one
on,
question.
Mr. Golden. WCS
Dr.
wanna
Marks said
respond.
VADA should be banned from the sport for their connection to Victor Conte, period. And Devin needs to be tested by a legitimate organization other than VADA. DSP is who is, whatever, Dr. Mark can see something to be. That's not my words, that's his.
Can I ask a
But
question,
That's an
but
please?
look,
airplane
that's a good
comment.
point.
Terrence
That's a good
Crawford
point he
ain't
made
never
though.
said.
He
Can I
said
ask a
because
good? Can I
VADA
ask a
is
question,
connected to
man?
Victor Conte, who's run Snack. That
That's
is
a
a good
Spence.
point.
That's a Spence fan comment, man.
But look, it's truth, ain't it? Isn't VADA connected to Conte? Isn't that what Ryan
Not.
Garcia? No, hold up, BG. That's what Ryan Garcia was complaining about.
Yep.
He was
But he don't
complaining
have nothing
about
to do
VADA
with the
being connected
testing.
to Victor Conte.
Look, he don't have nothing to do with the testing because
But you don't know that, man.
the
You're
North
speculating.
New York Commission tested Ryan too, and he tested positive. They don't have nothing to do with VADA. So it's Ryan just said that as an scapegoat. But we all want to see Devin fight because we questioning how his return really
No, we
is. If
not.
he have PTSD because of what happened
We
in the Ryan fight. So how
we
can we
saw his
not
return.
understand? Look, how can we not
He was
understand
trash.
why he
We
wants
saw his
extensive
return.
drug
He was
So
testing?
trash.
you just gonna ignore the Ramirez fight? He already returned, bro.
We saw his return.
He was on
And it was trash.
365 testing. But what I'm saying is we still don't know if Devin is fully back yet, which is why we need to see another fight.
Why?
So how
Man,
can we not understand?
did Bill pay you to
BG,
say
if
that?
Devin
Look,
didn't feel
how
like
can
he
we
was
not
really back,
understand the
He said, "Bill,
damage that
hey
what he took?
BG, you right.
Look,
No,
Bill."
hey BG, I swear to God, I defended Devin Haney like a motherfucker when people on here trying to talk about Ryan Garcia. How the fuck we would have known who he would be if he wasn't on that stuff? But let me say this: we do know Devin Haney is back because Devin Haney wouldn't be taking this fight if he didn't feel like he could win. Now
right.
listen, Brian Norman is. Brian Norman is the favorite in my opinion, and I'm picking Brian Norman to win. But Brian Norman
Beat the
got an
shit out of them.
obstacle. Brian Norman got an obstacle he got to get over though. No, he got an obstacle he got to get over though because Devin Haney is an excellent, superb boxer. And y'all can say what y'all want to say. But let
That's
me
a
get back
fact.
to this.
That's a
Let
fact,
me just
brother.
say this
That's a
real
fact.
quick
That's a
though,
fact.
BG.
That's a
I
fact.
like that point you brought up when you said that's an Earl Spence comment. And I'm gonna bring up Terrence Bud Crawford again, right? And I'm sorry, I got to keep doing this because Terrence Bud Crawford ain't never complained about shit leading up to the fight with Earl Spence. Oh, is it a drug test or is it this? This nigga going up to fight Canelo. So y'all crying for Devin Haney when Canelo done been tested positive 7 goddamn times, 3 or 4
Thank you.
recently, and
Talk to
Terrence
him.
Crawford
Can I say
ain't
it? Can I
saying.
say it?
Talk to him.
Man, Terrence, listen, and I'm being honest with y'all. Like,
Can I
I
say
know
it?
y'all think I don't like, but I do like Terrence Crawford, right? And the one thing I like about him is that this nigga don't give a fuck, bro. He don't. That's what make him what he is. That's why he is, man. That's why don't talk to me about these pansy ass fighters if Terrence Crawford ain't doing it. If
Can,
I
Terrence
agree.
Crawford ain't
I
complaining,
agree.
can I just
Hold
ask
on,
one
real quick.
question?
If Crawford ain't complaining, I don't give a fuck about what these other fighters
Can
say.
I ask one question, please?
Hey, go ahead, OG.
This is what I'm saying to what I just said. I didn't want to put Canelo in the conversation, but we're saying that
Mhm.
people need to be tested and BARDA is legit. Well, how we let Canelo Alvarez test positive 7 times and blame it on meat in Mexico? How we do that?
Is
Look,
And
Bud
just rest
complaining?
that on the
I was
road.
gonna say, like, I trust that Turkey, like he said, he gonna make sure that testing is done the right way before anybody step in the ring. So I trust that. So that's why I also say that I understand that Norman don't have to take the test. You know what I'm saying? Because in the amount of time that he's supposed to take the test, it will be done properly with
Okay.
Turkey in the picture. But I'm just saying, if it jeopardizes the fight, why not just take it if you got nothing to hide? That's my point.
But but
But
but
you
but
treat Brian Norman like he ain't the world champion though.
And you
You
should
yeah,
trying to
who
understand.
sun
talking
him.
to him?
You
We should
trying to
under,
sun him, but you want Devin Haney to
Talk
have all
to
these
him,
rituals
OG.
when
no,
he
I'm
not
saying
the world
we should
champion.
understand what
He
Devin
not the
Haney
world
Talk to
told
him,
champion, bro.
OG.
I'm saying we should understand where Devin Haney coming from though. Like
I
How we can understand? Brian
So
Norman
what?
got the
Hey,
belt.
hey,
He's
how
fighting
many?
for his belt.
Yeah,
He
how
don't
many
get no
times have we
credit.
just said you can't put the Ryan Garcia jacket on everybody, man?
no,
No,
and
Why,
I
Brian
ain't gonna lie.
Norman is
why,
a real
why,
champion.
why are
You're
we sitting up here
disrespecting him,
babysitting
man.
the Haney's? They've been here
Damn,
before. They
BG,
know
you
My
it.
thing is,
know.
They
I
know
could
what it is.
understand the suspicion if it were closer to the fight,
What is
but since
suspicion?
we're
What suspicion are we talking about? What suspicion
Yeah,
are
for
we talking
real.
about?
No
like,
suspicion
if
came
this was
from
brought
Team
up, if
Water.
this was brought up a little closer to the fight, I could understand where people would be like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I feel a little suspicious." But where the fight's always in November, it's like I don't understand. Even if, like I said, even if they said, "Yeah, we'll do this just to shut y'all the fuck up," and if we still test positive and we still contractually, we're still gonna fight, right?
The fight should
So
be
if we
off in
if
that case.
even if he say the fight's not judged because
No,
we're not fighting during the contract.
they not
If
gonna fight.
I start and I'm clean the whole time from the contract on all the way to the fight, what the fuck was the point in the
You
whole
should,
point? What
but
was it
look,
but
anyway?
can I ask
if
you a
he
question?
tests positive, they shouldn't fight him.
But can I
That's what I'm
ask you a
saying.
But
question
the
though?
fight's in
That's why
November though.
No,
it
can I
don't
ask you a
matter
question
though.
though? Can I ask
Hey,
you a
go ahead,
question?
OG.
Okay, what you saying? I respect your point, and I respect our points of what we saying. Who gives a fuck? This is why I'm saying who gives a fuck is because what paperwork do you got to speak that Brian Norman ever fought dirty?
Right.
What paperwork you got
Yeah.
to
He
prove
never,
that shit?
he
Talk
That's
to
never
him,
part
fought
of
dirty
my
Talk to
point.
because
him,
That's part of
OG.
my point. You know what I'm
the
saying?
public knowledge he never fought dirty. No, he
Well,
hasn't.
we can't say he a dirty fighter until we get some shit on paper that's legitimate and valid to say that. It's just like
Mhm.
me, you going in, it's like you going in a restaurant and you say she got some bad service because somebody else fucking said that shit. When she served you, if you tipped her ass, she was good. So why the fuck would you even be going by somebody else's
I'm
opinion?
not.
That's the
Oh,
I'm
point.
real
not saying.
OG
I'm
talk,
not
The
saying
real
he
OG
matter
wasn't
talk.
dirty.
is,
School
what
emoji.
evidence do we have to say that this
Yeah.
man is a dirty fighter? What evidence we got?
I'm not saying that he's a dirty fighter. That's
Well,
not
you
what I'm
say you need to take a test because it's suspicious, so only police use the word
Now,
suspicious.
I think BG's coming from the Haney's point of view. He's coming from the Haney's
Come
point
on,
of view.
but the Haney's point of view shouldn't hold that much weight to the point where you're persuading a fighter that's the champion to do something they don't
Right.
have to do.
I agree with that point, but what I'm saying is BG's coming just from that mental standpoint of from the Ryan Garcia. They're always going to be suspicious of everybody they fight in my
So,
opinion.
so
Man,
We
let
have
come
me
said
on,
it
let me
Right.
man.
No,
thousands
I
of
agree with
times.
so
y'all.
listen.
I
I
agree
got
with y'all.
Brian Norman
That's what
said
I'm
it.
saying. But what I'm saying
real,
is I'm just saying mentally from that perspective.
Man,
I'm
no
just saying he's
mentally
coming from
nothing,
their
man.
perspective. I'm not defending nobody. I'm just
hey,
saying this is just a different perspective he's coming from.
hey, but
Well,
look.
can
I
I ask
agree
you a
with y'all.
question? Can I ask you a
Okay, well, so
question?
let me
Him
ask you this.
taking that fight says a lot. Him
Carlos.
taking that fight
Yeah,
say a
what's
lot
up?
about
Let me
Devin.
ask you this. So you say he gonna always be suspicious. Well, is he gonna always be suspicious about women too?
Yes.
Man, yeah.
I mean, who
Good
Uh,
point.
knows?
Good
I'm
point.
saying I'm
That ain't
I
not
got
don't
Good
know.
breaking
nothing.
no
point.
That
I
ain't
shot.
don't
Good
got
know.
nothing to
point.
do
Maybe
with
Devin
boxing.
does
No,
have that
hold on, hold on, hold
mentality.
on.
Who
The
knows?
reason why I
That
said
don't
that, I'm
have
just
nothing to do
bringing
with
it up
boxing,
because
though,
you
bro.
remember that video circulated of his baby mother,
Yeah,
That
yeah,
don't got nothing to
yeah,
do with boxing, though,
yeah, yeah.
bro.
Well,
Man,
listen,
I'm just man,
I,
you can be funny and
I'm
joke in
suspicious.
boxing.
I'm suspicious now on a female. Hell yeah.
Nah, I
God
mean,
damn it.
Mr.
I'm
Carter,
suspicious.
that
I don't trust
but
their
but
ass either.
but
let's please stay on topic,
That's
goddamn.
because Mr. Golden be tricking on him. I know what you be
Nobody
doing
ain't
at the
I'm
talking
not.
about
supermarket,
those
Mr.
I'm,
Golden.
goddamn
I'm
You
hey,
you
suspicious
be
of
hey,
buying
their
their
ass either.
groceries.
them
WCS, can
lizard,
I
them
ask you
lot
this?
lizards you be messing with, Golden.
I'm suspicious of their ass
Golden be buying
either.
their groceries. That's what he be
That's
doing.
what I'm saying on
Lot
that.
lizard.
I'm
Damn, that's
suspicious
messed
too.
up.
I don't be suspicious of them. All of them got some goddamn real. I'll be suspicious on their ass. I've been divorced since 1991. I'm still suspicious on them motherfuckers.
But look, the mere fact that Devin
Hey,
took this
WCS.
fight with the toughest fighter at 147 says a lot about him. It says that he's not scared. So we shouldn't even be saying,
No,
"Oh,
he
he's
ain't
scared or he's
scared. He ain't
worried." He just want
scared.
to make sure everything is on the up and up. I don't see how
But
people can't understand
nobody
that.
is indicating that Devin Haney has fragmented skill set. Everybody's giving him his props because Devin did go on a run. Now he went on a hellified run all the way up to that Kambosos fight, and then defend against Lomachenko, and then Regis. He did what he's supposed to do, but then again they messed up with Ryan Garcia by taking him for
Yeah.
granted.
No,
They
only
took
that
him
they
for
took that
granted.
money. They took the
Yeah,
money. WCS.
they took the money, and then they took the
hmm
beating. You know what I'm saying?
WCS. I'm gonna ask you a
The
question.
beating is, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm gonna ask you a question, Doc. I'm gonna use our word play devil advocate, right?
Oh,
Let's
okay, but you didn't like when I did.
let's reverse this thing here. Let's reverse the situation right now. Let's say it was presented to Devin Haney, the same thing that he presented to the Normans. What you think would have happened?
Bill would have said, "Fuck you."
Yep.
He would have said the same thing.
Yep.
He would have said, listen, hold on.
Bill would have been like, "Man, you don't tell me what to do, man. We
Yeah.
moving."
Right.
I'm
Maybe
Bill
Bill would have
motherfucking
did
Haney.
but
You
the
don't tell
fans
Bill
not
would
only
Haney what the
Yeah, for
motherfucker.
real.
I'm
He
from
would have said,
Compton.
"That's
That
laughable,
motherfucker be
man."
saying
hey,
he
But
had a
listen,
whole interview.
okay,
WCS,
not
you
only
right.
that, not only that,
Hey,
the
OG,
media.
Bill would have said, "You have Brian Norman Kane undisputed yet?" Man, get out my face. When he
Hey,
become
WCS.
undisputed, I
Right.
might
But
Before I
entertain.
get out of here,
Hey, the
before I
reason
get
why
You're
out
I
of here,
asked that,
absolutely
WCS,
right. But the fans
hold
would
on,
have did.
hold on, BG.
Hey,
The reason
hold
why
on,
I
OG.
asked
What
that,
you say, IO?
before I get out of here, can I ask you one question? Because I'm finna go to that Bam fight. Who you
Okay,
got? Because
cool,
I want to
cool.
know
That's
who
what's
you
up.
got, bro, real quick. Not after that fight, out of Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora tonight.
I got Sebastian Fundora, man.
I got Tim Tszyu, man. I think that cut played a big difference, bro. Like, hey, man, hey, but before I go, man, I want to salute to you, WCS, man. You one of the best in the business, bro. Like, no cap. I'm not sitting up here trying to throw extra water on the grass to make it grow. Nigga, I get where respect is due, nigga. You put in work harder than anybody out here, fam. Salute to the whole panel, Mr. Golden, Mr. Owens, BG, Carlos Rosado. Man, y'all dudes is the truth, bro, and I appreciate dialoguing with y'all every time I get a chance. And WCS, salute my
Salute.
dogs.
Salute to you, IO. You know
Hey,
what it is, man.
IO,
Thanks for
I
putting up as always.
I got
Huh?
Fundora by KO.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling y'all, watch tonight. Listen, it ain't finna be I dream of Genie moment where that elbow hit on his forehead again and then cut it open.
Hey,
Hey,
come back and talk about it, bro. Come back and
no.
talk about it.
I
Hey,
agree
watch.
with you one time, IO. I agree with you one time, bro. I agree with
It
you
ain't
one time.
lightning ain't gonna strike in the bottle twice, right? If you look at that fight, Tim Tszyu was whooping his ass, right, before that cut.
That's a
Hey,
different cut too, though.
IO. Hey, Tim Tszyu better not come out there fighting like Amanda Serrano did Katie Taylor in their third bout either.
No,
That,
you
Yeah,
right
that,
though.
that was a different Tim
I
Tszyu
might
back
lean
then.
towards you. I
But
might
I'm
lean
no,
just
but
towards
to
you
saying.
Tim
tonight.
Tszyu credit, to his credit, we ain't never seen him do that though.
I'm just saying that cut, just like
Yeah,
that, the Mr. Headbutt, Mrs.
yeah.
Headbutt herself, Katie Taylor.
Oh,
Yeah, Amanda Serrano was on the outside.
I'll say this right here.
And real quick, WCS, what do you feel about Sebastian Fundora saying he don't think the blood had anything to do with it? That's
Oh, he
stupid.
that's
bullshitting.
bullshit.
That's just
He
boxing
said,
talk.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
boxing.
it's bullshitting just to piss
Somebody
him
wrote
off.
that script for him. Somebody wrote him to say that.
But I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna stay listening in while I'm riding.
Yeah, man, be safe out
All
there
right,
with
All
bro.
right,
fights, man. Don't
peace,
knock
bro.
nobody's head off, man.
Motherfucker, Tim Tszyu is fighting
It's
Victor
WCS.
Wembanyama. That's a motherfucker.
Enjoy the fight. I'll be
WCS. The
watching
reason why
though.
I asked you that question is because what you stated is correct, and also the media would have drugged Devin down
Yeah,
bad.
That's what I
like they was
said, Mr.
doing him,
Would
Golden.
have,
Bill,
like they was
would
doing
have
him out the Ryan
destroyed
Garcia,
Devin.
man. They was dragging Devin, man. They want to act like they back on the bandwagon, man. Man, put them in front of the horses and keep on stepping.
Bill definitely would have said F y'all, but the
Yeah.
media and the public would be dragged on Devin a coward.
Bro, I would
Scared
never
to
have
take
took that
testing,
fight,
this and
bro.
that.
He's tripping, bro. Nah,
He's
with the
tripping taking that
influence,
Brian Miller fight.
Bill have out here though. Go ahead, Haynes. What's good with you, bro? How you feeling?
Nah, Bill.
What up,
Y'all
man?
talking about Bill and what's up, man? You know I'm at work right there. I had to step in real quick on it real time, but I didn't really catch what was going on. But y'all talking about Bill Haney and Norman, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah, we just talking about the drug testing
Yeah.
shit that they tried to put 2
Yeah.
weeks earlier than what it
Bro,
should be and all that.
I don't think Haney should be fighting that man at all. I'm just keeping it a buck. Like I don't see why he's making this. Like he should get to 47 first, and then get a couple fights in, and then try to fight for a beast like that, bro. That man's a horse, bro. Like oh nah,
But
bro. I'm cool.
Haynes, the thing about it though, the thing about it is Norman's best performances was his last 3. You know what I'm saying? And against this Sicilian dude was just coming forward, so they was having a slugfest, and you're not gonna win a slugfest with Brian Norman because he do got power. And against the Saski fight, it was a great knockout, but that's a man who was throwing all hooks. So Devin is a way
That's not
different
Brian's
boxer,
fault,
so
though.
he gonna have a more difficult time.
Hold on, no.
Lose, he gonna have a more difficult time with Devin than any of his fights. That's his best
Really?
competition to date.
Really?
Bro, nah, hold on, wait a minute. I'd rather see Sasaki versus Haney before I see Norman right now, bro. Like,
He'll beat the brakes off
for real.
Saski, bro. That dude can't box.
We saying that, but he just got whooped. He got whooped by Ryan Garcia, bro. Like
He got
everybody
cheated
keep
by
forgetting
Ryan
that.
Garcia, bro. He got cheated by
Bro,
Ryan.
no.
Hold on. That's not a victory,
Wait, let's stop. Bro, you know I rocks with you heavy, bro. But no, didn't no steroid stop him from putting his right hand up, bro.
You still listen. You can't discredit.
That's what we've been saying.
That's the FACT.
Look, you can't ignore the
I'm
PED.
just saying, bro.
Look, a PED is a performance enhancer. So his left hook was enhanced.
No, I don't give a nah, bro. Hold on. What does that have to do with Haney putting his hands up, bro? What does that do with Haney putting his hands up, bro?
So we gonna say Ryan had no power with his hooks now?
Listen, I'm telling you, look, like I said, performance enhancers.
Come on, bro.
What you already have.
So you're trying to
you're not being solid right now,
I like Devin, but Devin went up with the wrong game plan at that point.
Performance enhancing drugs somehow, does perspiration and sweat, does it allow the opponent to forget and have memory loss on what to do?
No, but look,
does OSTARINE seep into the pores of their opponent and allow them to forget how to box?
But look,
use defense.
Look, what I'm saying is this.
I'm finna go on mute. Hey, cook on that, bro. I gotta get on mute, bro. I gotta get my dad. I gotta get my guy right.
We can't pretend that it didn't have nothing to do with the fight, because we seen it made him more aggressive. Because when Devin rocked him, he jumped back and pit his gloves together. But when Rolly hit him, he fell down and gave up on the fight. So he was more aggressive. He was stronger and faster. You can't ignore that.
Can I say one thing to that? Can I answer that question back, please?
It was the wrong game plan.
Can I answer that?
Played a part in that win, in that fight.
Go ahead, LG. Go ahead.
That fight.
Good point.
Okay, let's talk about Rolly. Let's not forget that Ryan Garcia, neither Devin Haney are fucking true welterweights. Period, point blank. They're not. Rolly was going to beat the shit out of Ryan Garcia because Rolly was the true welterweight. Rolly has been the biggest lightweight that you have ever seen. Even when he fought Tank, he was big as fuck. So we can't base Rolly's power off of Devin Haney's boxing. We can't base that off of it. Because when Rolly hit Ryan Garcia,
hold on. Let me kill it.
When Rolly hit Ryan Garcia with that solid overhand right, where did Ryan Garcia go? Crashing to the floor.
Listen. Stop.
Rolly got retarded strength, bro.
He got a retarded strength. Yes, he do. But that fight, Ryan looked like shit.
Ryan Garcia was never gonna be Rolly.
Ryan Garcia looked like shit in that damn fight. He looked like he was scared to fight. To me, he looked like pretty shit. He looked like something more wrong with him than any fight I ever seen him fight.
So look, Ryan against Devin, his best performance was the Ryan.
When Tank was asked the question, right?
Was the Ryan Haney against Devin Haney his best performance?
Who? Ryan Garcia?
Ryan Haney. Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it. I think it was Tank early rounds with Tank, man, because he was super aggressive with Tank.
I'll go back even further when what's the name put him on his ass
kick, man.
I'll go back further when what's the name put Ryan Garcia on his ass, and Ryan Garcia had to get up and put him on his ass to win. I'll say that. Yeah, I'll say that's his best performance.
Devin is the best fighter that he beat for sure, and he put on an excellent performance, but he cheated. So you
can't say he beat him though if it's a no contest and he was dirty. Right. You can't use that in the order.
That's what I'm saying. How can we keep bringing that win up as if it has something to do?
But it was damage though. They bring up the damage though. The damage is real. The damage is real.
They were saying he beat Devin Haney as if it was a win. He didn't just beat Devin Haney.
No, we can't put no win up there because he was dirty.
Yeah.
Yo, fellas, I'm a head off, man. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate always being on a panel with y'all, man.
Yeah, you know what it is, Carlos.
Always love,
always,
baby.
Man.
Yes, sir.
One love to you, brother.
Always.
Hey, Bias Brim on deck. He's never in a spot where he's not about to dang speak his mind, man. What's going on, Brim?
Hey, you can't call it like I call it. Looking forward to watching all these fights. I already got them up. on the
Yeah,
screen.
prelim started too. I
Well,
forgot.
the prelims is gone. It's on the pay-per-view side already.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
he got
what card we talking about again?
I'm talking. This is for the Usyk and
and the
Oh
bar.
God
the
damn,
boy.
it's on that early shit.
But the thing is, they're 4 hours ahead. So 4 or 5 hours ahead. So they're gonna their main event will probably be about 5, 6 o'clock.
Oh
4:45.
You said 4:45?
Yeah, that's Central Time. I mean Eastern Time. I think 4:45.
Oh, okay. And to keep it real in regards to y'all talking about Ryan, I mean, that wasn't really his best performance. You take away the knockdowns, he loses the fight.
Thank you.
He lost more rounds.
Thank you. I just told him that.
Yeah.
The reason why I personally feel that Devin even lost that fight is because their history and he fought emotionally and he fought outside of what he needed to do within his game plan.
Yeah,
Just
but
to be real.
I mean,
I
his
thought
best
that
performance against the best competition. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the best.
I'm thinking it came from me about Brian Norman. Like, I don't think he'd be buying Brian Norman at his first fight at welterweight. That's out of pocket to me. I'm just saying. So that's where it came from. That's how this whole conversation started.
It's just this
he
whole
should get acclimated to the
demand.
weight.
Go ahead, Haynes. Go ahead.
He should get acclimated to the weight and then see if he got enough punching power to even fight Brian Norman. And then
That's what makes him who he
go
is.
from there.
He gonna be in the Hall of Fame, bro.
Look, I don't think anybody talking about Hall of Fame because he was undisputed 135 with no controversy. I don't care who had the belts before him. He swiped up all of them. It took him a little bit longer to get there because the bullshit WBC tournament fell apart and all that, and they went the other way with T.O., but he was definitely undisputed. And
he defended
and a 140. Yeah, he defended against a former number one pound for pound too. You know,
I mean,
he did what he had to do.
Me and you rocking with Noma, but I'm gonna keep it a bean. I don't know why people act like I don't, because if Haney wins this fight, there is no question he's a Hall of Famer. Like if anybody had a question, I personally believe at that point it's sealed. 3 division with the title, to me it's sealed. It ain't happening.
There's no
but
question now.
I mean,
Shout out to you, Fresh.
I don't think it's necessarily a question, but it's still a slight of debate because not all undisputed are created equal. Not is every undisputed champion in the Hall of Fame.
Get it, bro. He's gonna get it because he's the youngest one to ever do it in the history of boxing.
That's a very valid point. That's a very valid point. But there's a debate that can be made. But there is a debate that can be made both ways at this moment in time. That victory to me, steals it.
Look,
if he was to beat Norman, it would
bro, I
seal
don't see him beating Norman right now, bro.
I'm just speaking hypothetically. I'm the person over here that's calling Spark out, Category 7, storming. You know, I mean,
What's up, Fresh? What up, Fresh?
So,
hey, without the Norman victory, it's only a debate because of the Ryan fight. So he got to prove himself, kind of, since that fight. He got to prove himself one more time.
But what was on the line for the Ryan fight? Fame? Come on, be honest with you.
Yeah.
What was on the line for the Ryan fight, though?
And it's marred with
Ryan ain't accomplished shit
and all that type of shit, bro.
Ryan ain't accomplished shit.
That was a money fight. That was a money fight.
Devin did what he's supposed to do. Devin did what he's supposed to do as a champion. He came in professionally. He made the weight, did everything. What was on the line with Ryan Garcia? He was just a fame guy.
Yeah,
a social media fame type dude.
This dude is what C+, B- skills with D- discipline. What makes him a C- fighter? Like, let's be real here.
Hey, WCS,
Ryan never won a title.
The points. Hey, WCS, they're making the points right now that the belts don't mean shit. The belts don't mean shit because if Devin Haney going undisputed, defending it twice. And it goes up a weight class, wins another title, and he ain't in the Hall of Fame, a first ballot Hall of Famer. Well, damn it, I don't know who else. I don't know who to put in the Hall of Fame now, bro.
Yeah, I think Devin is a first ballot Hall of Famer right now.
Like,
I think he gets
bro.
in before, like people was proposing the paperwork for Teofimo Lopez, 2-division lineal. You know what I'm saying? Unified under the franchise umbrella, and then Devin Haney. I mean, both of them going to be in the Hall of Fame, whether they like it or not. Both of them are.
Fact.
Real talk. I could care less, but I'm more so. Go ahead.
What? what's the argument against it? Like, I'm trying to find the argument against it. I mean, you said there's an argument. Please explain the argument, because the Ryan fight that had nothing to do with anything besides money. I'm
gonna try, Haynes. I'm gonna try because because again, from my opinion, Devin Haney is a Hall of Famer. But when I'm looking at the landscape and then seeing both sides of the coin, that's why I said
are you
all
saying first
students
ballot
are
Hall
not
of
created
Famer
equal.
or Hall of Famer period? First
I'm sorry,
ballot
say
Hall of
that
Famer or Hall
again.
of Famer period? 'Cause are you saying first ballot Hall of Famer or Hall of Famer period? Because he's definitely going to the Hall of Fame. But
Yeah,
like, are
for
you saying
me,
first ballot
for me,
Hall of Famer?
for me right now, he's a Hall of Famer. Period. With a Norman when he's first ballot. Now, some people will tell me that they believe Devin Haney's a first ballot right now. There's some people that'll say that he's not. And then when I'm looking at both sides of the coin, I'm saying I put a little bit of value on some people to say that he's not, even though I don't agree with him, because I think Devin's a Hall of Famer already. So when I'm speaking, I'm kind of trying to have an overall viewpoint. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily just greater than my personal opinion in
Right.
regard to.
To your point though about the all undisputed is not created equal, he after he became undisputed and
He
defended
got the
twice,
Waloma
he
win.
beat a pound for pound, a former number one pound for pound fighter to defend it. So that's gotta count. You know what I'm saying?
It's got to count for something. Absolutely, it definitely counts for something. No lie. But okay, how many undisputed fighters in all boxing history? I would say modern history. You know, from '80s on, is not a Hall of Famer.
Is it undisputed?
Yeah.
In the four belt era, not one. But
Let's go. I want to go a little bit before the 4 belt, because we can't just single out 4 belt era and just use that as the only barometer. I don't want to go too far back, but I got to put a little bit more value
right now, though. That's the barometer you have. You have to get 4 belts.
Taylor, now he's not in the Hall of Fame, right?
Who?
Yeah, he is.
He is Jermaine Taylor.
Yeah, he wasn't first ballot, but he's in the Hall of Fame.
I don't think my brother's in the Hall of Fame.
I
think so, bro.
He's from my hometown, man. He's not in the Hall of Fame. He's from my hometown.
He's not in the
Hall of
international.
Fame.
I don't think he's in the international. You're right. He's not in the international.
So that's what I'm saying. James Taylor probably the only one.
Yeah, you're right.
No, Corey Spinks was Hall of Fame, but that was the last of the 3 belt era.
Yeah. So,
but he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Bernard Hopkins.
Come on, that's a gift. Come on. I don't want to even mention the Hall of Famers of all Hall of Famers. Just about.
I'm just saying, bro. I had to throw him in there real quick.
Now, the true story, he deserves his name to be out there at any time if we talking about. I mean, yeah, facts.
I gotta bolster my argument, bro.
But Devin in there, you know, people can say what they want, but he definitely got the criteria.
Yeah, he didn't put in that work, man. I mean, people can dislike him, but at the end of the day, he put in the work. You know,
like
but it wasn't popular being undisputed though when Jermaine Taylor did it though. Like,
it wasn't. It didn't get popular to this era, and I think the reason why it's more value on undisputed because there's not as many stars.
So Crawford did it. Crawford brought it back, bro.
Yeah. Everybody wanted to be undisputed after that.
Well, I had to throw something in there for Crawford, bro. You know, I'm a buddy, bro.
But yeah, man, I'm trying to get to these fights, man.
So who we got? Let's take it down the line. Usyk and Dubois.
Dubois.
I got Dubois.
That's 2 Dubois.
Who you got, WCS?
Dubois.
I'm looking for the knockout. I'm looking for Dubois to knock his ass out.
All right, so I'm the only person with Usyk, and Usyk is going to break his spirit again because Dubois is not going to be the landing shot. He's going to just get peppered all night, and he's going to try to go for the fence.
Bro, he's a way better boxer than the first time they fought.
Bro, it's the same dude. It's just confidence, bro. It's the same guy.
I want to read this comment right quick.
I take Usyk.
Go ahead, OG. I'll go after you.
I'll take Usyk.
Oh, bet. So we got 2 Usyk and 4.
I got Usyk too, man. I mean, no, I don't. I got Dubois.
So it's 4 Dubois and 2 Usyk.
Hey, WCS, I seen a clip of Dane Dubois' sister. Did you ever see that girl fight?
Yeah, Caroline Dubois.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Man, that girl,
she don't want no problem with Beatrice Vieira though. She ducking that smoke, that unification smoke. She ducking that one, but she'll fight everybody else.
I've seen her beat the hell out of this girl.
Hey, I want to read this comment about what Ron put up there. It said Ryan ducked Devin 3 times. Dev shouldn't have fought him, but they got caught up in the tank Ryan hype. but you know he's not lying because you remember when Ryan finished beating Luke Campbell and Devin hopped in the ring and Ryan told him to his face, he say, "Yeah, you my boy and everything, but I'm fighting Javante." And then the Javante fight fell out. He said, "I'm fighting Manny Pacquiao," and all that other bullshit. So yeah, it might have been just the looking at it in hindsight. I don't know. It might have been a bad omen to fight Ryan Garcia, bro.
He said Devin was the toughest dude at
Yeah.
135. That's why
Thanks,
he
bro.
fighting
'Cause
his
that's
ass.
terrible.
Look at,
But
I don't know if y'all dresses or not, but WCS, what y'all think about Clarissa Sears come up to $15 million
that's what I was
to
gonna
fight
say.
Layla?
Layla gonna duck that smoke, bro. She was talking.
Layla's
I don't
finna
think
get
so.
knocked out if she
Spicy.
go in there, bro.
You
Layla
can't
got
call
too
that a
much.
duck for somebody that ain't fought in 20 years. I mean, at the end of the
For
day, she
real.
shouldn't have said what she said, but I mean, let's be
Yeah.
real here. She ain't fought in 20 years, though.
Listen,
Come
she
on.
been
I
talking
like
spicy.
how Clarissa came up with the 15 million though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it was G.
Look,
It was G. They hated or love it. It was G.
Layla been talking spicy for years
She
about
has.
Clarissa. She'll do
Yeah.
this. Oh, she don't want to fight me. And then she been talking that talk.
Yeah, she been talking that big shit,
It's
bro.
time for her to
But
back
guess
it up,
what?
bro.
But guess
She
what?
gotta back that up.
Prime versus Prime, Layla will beat the shit out of her ass.
I'm still going with Clarissa, bro. I'm going with Clarissa regardless.
Prime versus Prime, Layla will beat the shit out of Clarissa.
Because
But
the
hold on,
fighters fought different
can I
back
give y'all
then.
some pushback real quick? To me, this when she mentioned Jake Paul, to me that you diminishing yourself but comparing yourself to Jake Paul, because we understand where Jake Paul is at. You are considered the GOAT, right? So why would you do a Mike Tyson type move when how bad that look, how washed Mike Tyson look, and she's 48, and the biggest component for your career that will ascend you where you would probably feel like it would be just is to be able to find the best competition, best fighters that you can potentially find and make those
She
fights
already
and
did that
dominate.
though, bro. She can't
No,
fight
she's
nobody else. Who's else
She
she gonna
beat
fight?
everybody. She beat everybody it is to beat. And Mike Tyson was damn near 60. He just got out of a wheelchair. That's complete. And people still had him winning, but
Yeah,
that's
There are
bro.
other
completely
fights out
different.
there, gentlemen. Y'all don't know, but there are other fights out there to be made.
Look,
Tyson
Layla Ali,
wasn't talking shit to Jake Paul all the time
right?
Man, listen,
on Twitter
I'm
and shit, bro.
gonna say this in here. I'm saying that let Layla get herself in shape, get her a couple of good fights in. I still think she'll beat Clarissa.
Nah,
Bro, you tripping,
Yeah, you know,
bro.
at least one tune-up and see how she looking. If
Get
it just
her a
look
couple
good
of
enough,
tune-ups.
then make the fight.
Get
Man,
her
no
a couple.
tune-ups,
Now
bro.
this coming straight off the thing. How many years she done been out there? 10, 15 years?
18, bro.
18 years since she fought.
But listen,
Let her get a couple of tune-up fights like George
she
Foreman
not
did.
out of shape.
Let her get her feet
Hey,
wet.
that's her word.
Let her
She
get her
gonna
feet
eat him,
wet.
bro.
She not in
That's her
boxing
word. She
shape,
gonna
but
eat
she's
him.
not out of shape. She in good shape for
She in good shape, but let her
But
get some
48
rounds
to
in and extra
48,
fight.
dog.
She not trying to.
Man,
She trying to
they
get
do
that
2-minute
bag.
rounds, bro. Come on, bro. Y'all
I would give it down 2 minutes round.
Let her get
After
that
18
bag,
years,
How
bro.
she
many
ain't been
rounds
in
you
the
gotta
ring to
get
fight.
in, bro?
Fighting another
At
fight is
least let her
irrelevant.
get a tune-up and see what she look
Look,
like, bro.
fighting another
Like, for
fight is
real. For
irrelevant
No,
to
18
her.
because
years,
that's gonna
dog.
take the hype away, bro. That's gonna
You
take the
got
hype away. If she
that's
get
fair.
in
That's
and
a fair
lose,
point. That's
if
a
she get in
fair
and
point.
lose,
Listen,
Fair
fighting
point.
another fight
Fair
if she
is
point.
not
get in
gonna
and
get her
lose,
paid.
Fair
Fighting
point.
another fight is irrelevant for her. She want to get that money with Clarissa coming. She got to get in shape, train, and go straight into the Clarissa fight. Ain't no time. She don't need to waste fight nobody else.
bro, she gotta pull an Earl Spence, bro. No tune-ups, bro.
And no
Straight
tune-ups,
up.
my after
Ain't no
18
tune-ups.
years, man,
Ain't
be
no
for real.
tune-ups, bro. Ain't
Hell
no
nah.
tune-ups for that fight.
Even Earl Spence right now
Hey, bro,
coming back right
why you
now.
caping?
I
Why
love
you
him to have a
caping for
2-1 fight.
Layla, bro? Why you caping for her like that, bro?
I'm just telling
Why you
you,
Because he
caping
listen,
for her
old.
like that?
listen.
Come
No,
on,
I'm just
bro.
keeping it
Bro, you
real.
my guy, bro. Why you
Listen,
caping right now, bro?
listen, I'm keeping it for real. If Clarissa was coming up during the time Layla was coming up, the woman would have beat her ass.
Nah, I don't think so, bro.
I don't,
And
bro,
whoop,
bro,
Hey,
and whoop
bro.
them, and whoop them.
She's
Clarissa
And
is
way
beat
a
the
more
shit out
different.
you.
technically
And gonna beat
sound.
the
She's
shit out
way
you.
more technically sound than Layla, bro. She's way more
Mr.
technically
Goldie,
sound than Layla, bro.
Clarissa is a different beast at heavyweight. She
Two-time
Man,
boxing
gold
listen,
champion in
medalist,
any
bro. You're
weight class,
tripping,
bro.
Clarissa
bro.
would have got her
Come
ass
on,
ate
man.
up fucking them girls back
Oh
there.
shit.
Listen,
Man,
Hey, I
just
got,
let
I
her
got,
fight
hey,
the Days
I
of
go mute.
Green, bro. Fight the
Shit.
Days of
she
Green,
don't
bro.
want that
Like,
smoke, bro.
no.
She'll
Fight the
stop her.
Days of Green, bro.
Layla don't. Layla gonna duck the smoke though, so we don't gotta worry about it, bro. She
I don't think
talking
so.
Man,
spicy.
I don't even call that a duck when you that old, bro. You just made a
Listen,
decision not to take the fight.
she been talking that talk for years, bro. It's a duck if you don't take the fight.
Man, I won't give a
But
damn who
I
that.
would agree with Bram though. It ain't a duck when you've been out the ring that long. It ain't a
She
duck,
asked
man.
for 15, 20 million, and she got it.
And
Hey,
listen,
what you think
listen.
about Fresh? Shout out to Fresh in the building. He said Carissa Shield playing herself, calling out a 48-year-old woman who hasn't fought in 18 years.
She 47, but
Blessings, Fresh. Hope you and your family's well, bro.
what up, Fresh? She called
BG, that
Clarissa out,
somebody
though.
pissed him off before he came to the chat today. He said, "God damn, she 47."
Yeah, he be talking about the Haney, so I know that's probably
Man,
why.
listen, I wouldn't give a good goddamn.
She called out
Clarissa,
Clarissa, bro. She bought the
man,
bag.
listen,
What's up?
Carissa was calling her out too.
I mean,
It's
that was
like,
years ago,
look,
though.
when Joshua asked for 50 million, Wilder brought it, and then he ducked the smoke. He didn't want it. So if you
But
ask
guess what?
But Anthony
guess what?
Joshua was an active heavyweight, currently
Thank you.
reigning champion at the time, not Layla Ali.
That's true, but look, if we look at all her interviews when asked about Clarissa, all the stuff she been talking, she don't care about how long she been out the ring. She still feel like she'll beat Clarissa. So why not take the fight?
And then listen, BG, I'm actually listen here. That's said Layla come out there and beat the shit out of Carissa, then what would you say?
She the GOAT. She the GOAT. She the greatest.
See, now, see, the problem is that this fight don't prove anything for her. That's why I feel like it's empty. It's a big payday, and she'll use it to be boastful, but it don't really mean nothing to me. That's why I want her to fight this with her contemporaries and find every person that's actually worth something from 154 up and beat them all. That's where the value is, not this fight.
She can fight. She can fight.
Because believe it or not, there are a lot of people that don't feel like Clarissa is running the show like she's supposed to be running the show, regardless of what people feel. Regardless if you feel like she's the GOAT, regardless if you don't. There are some aspects that can be better for her. And I'm telling you what is better for her is to fight every single fighter that is good from 154 all the way to find every fighter that is worth of value and fight them and beat them. There's no better substitute than that, bro. How can you argue against that,
bro?
You talking about?
I had to walk off my site, bro. Listen to their nonsense right now, bro. Come on, bro.
This is not nonsense. Beating every contemporary that's in front of you is no better. There's no better solution than that. How can you argue against that?
She did that already, though.
No, she's only did that with Savannah Marshall, and she fought. She's only did it with a couple fighters. There's other fights to be made.
Undisputed, bro. What are you talking about? Who
Vacant undisputed titles against in two situation circumstances. Fight every single fighter that is of value within the weight range. Don't fight people that's 18 years away from the ring. It's not value in it. And if you're arguing against that, you're making a disingenuous argument.
We all know that. We all know it's a cash grab, bro. Come on. Why you trying to put like one? This is one fight in her career, and you're sitting over here trying to make it seem like everybody don't try to get a money grab, bro. Come on, bro. Why you hating on her, bro?
And look, on top of that, the reason she's that heavyweight because she beat everybody else. It was nobody else.
Yes, exactly, bro.
So she moved.
He's not even a heavyweight, bro. He's a welterweight.
BG,
she can fight.
BG, let's keep it real.
She can fight.
BG, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. There is no competition in lady boxing right now like it was back in the day.
That's why nobody.
So there was never competition in lady boxing, bro.
There's more competition in the lower weight classes. There's more bearing in the upper. That's why it's even more important to beat every single person that has any value within that weight class. How can you argue that? How can you argue against something that's
There's
simple?
never been
She didn't want to go to 54 to fight Clarissa.
Bro, I can name 3 fighters that she hasn't thought that there's more value than fighting Ali. I'm just sorry, bro.
Who was the value? Who was the value? Because Baumgartner didn't want to go
who's
to
the
54.
value? Name
Baumgartner's too small.
Who are the fighters
Baumgartner's
that you said
too small. Baumgartner's too small.
But she was
These are some of the fighters that are going to be.
Who did she fight?
I'm going to tell you. Let me tell you where the fighters are value because I do pay attention to women's boxing. All right.
Okay.
The fighters that are. Are you going to let me tell you?
I'm just fucking with you.
Jadeja Green. Mikaela Mayer at 154. If she's willing to go back down to 154, that's the only way to listen. If she's willing to go back to 154, there's going to be about 3 fights that she can have. And 160 is about 2 fights right now, man.
Come on, bro.
Heavyweight is
try to get one mic, y'all. Y'all making some good points. He did make some good points about Mikaela Mayer and Shadeja Green, though.
You said right. You said Shadeja Green, WCS. What do you think about that fight, Shadeja and Clarissa?
I think she wins them. That's why it's even more important for her to fight.
Run circles around Shadeja Green for real.
Exactly.
Shadeja Green just got her confidence in the back end of that fight.
You're right. She just got her confidence, but still, she's far from the level.
Yeah, I agree.
And the hand speed.
I agree. I agree, and that's the whole point
So,
of the,
so,
the whole
so
point I'm making is to go execute it and beat every contemporary that's possible. Now,
We got
that's
heavyweight,
not a
there's no
heavyweight.
contemporary.
contemporary.
She's a
We
Heavyweight,
said
heavyweight,
that
there's no
bro.
already. That's why
contemporary.
she
There's
at
no
heavyweight.
contemporary heavyweight. I'm gonna make that clear. The
Okay,
contemporary is gonna be
you wanted to be like
160
Roy
and
Jones, then you wanted to
154.
be like Roy Jones that go up to heavyweight and then come back down to 54 and get knocked out. That's what
We'll
you
do
want to happen,
160,
basically.
then do 160. But
Yeah,
women is
Carissa
different,
can do
bro. Women is
160.
different.
Yeah,
What
Carissa
if
can
you?
do
I mean, I know you
160.
can do 154.
muscle is
But
muscle.
160, then 160, she got 2 or 3 really good fights. At 160, at
Look,
154, she got like
Lay,
5 good fights.
Graham, Layla is the biggest
I
fight
think
she can
68,
have.
68
It's
is
the
good, bro.
biggest
I'll go
fight, but the
Look,
68.
true
Layla,
meaning
Layla is the
behind it and the pugilism, it don't hold it. But I
look.
feel you.
Layla is the
Thank
biggest
you,
fight
brother.
she can have in boxing to make the most money, so she can
I
get
feel
that
better
money
already.
and then fight everybody else. Like she been doing, fight everybody.
Yeah,
She can fight
exactly.
Layla first and then do the rest of that. It's no difference. You just trying to save
It
Layla,
ain't
bro.
like she's 45 or something, bro. She's like 30. Ain't she like,
She like 30,
Carissa like 30?
31, yep.
Cool.
Yeah, bro. Like, she
So
gonna
You
fight
talking
her
about?
within
no,
I
Carissa.
mean, she's gonna have a family at some point. I wouldn't be surprised she only fight for another 2 or 3 years before she have a family,
yeah,
bro. Like
let her
for
go
After
real,
and
she
fight
make
you
this,
want to take
after she
advantage
make
of
this
this
big
time.
bag,
That's why
I mean, cool,
she trying
fine
to
and
get the
dandy. You
bag.
take the bag, man, but I don't expect
Exactly.
me to add a whole bunch of value on it more than what it actually is for face
there's no more.
value.
She doesn't need any more value though, bro. She's a
Okay,
first
if you
Look,
round
say
Hall,
if
so,
Hall of
if
Famer.
that's
she
how you
beat
You know what
feel.
I
Layla,
mean? Like,
I'm
look,
not here to change your mind. That's how
if
you
she
feel.
hold on,
she
I'm not
hold
here
on.
beat
to
You
change
Layla,
saying
your
that
hold
mind.
on, Hayes,
three
hold on.
times undisputed?
If
You
she
said, hold
beat
on, wait,
The
wait.
three
You
times
saying that three
undisputed
times
is
undisputed?
absolutely valuable. I'm not going to take any value away from it, but the fact of the matter is, how you get them does matter as well. So it's value on it. But
if she
if
look,
you,
So
but
you
if
saying
you
she's
beat
not
a,
a
but if
first
you
ballot
beat
Hall
an
of Famer?
unbiased Brim for your title, it's not the same as somebody taking out the creme de la creme. They're
if
all not created equal, bro. Now
Graham,
to
if she
pretend that they're
beat
But
all
like,
equal,
who does she
to
have to
pretend
fight?
to pretend that they're all
She fought.
equal would be disingenuous.
I'm
if
not
she beat
pretending they're
Layla
all equal.
Ali,
I'm telling you, she fought who was there to fight.
Exactly, but there's other people for her to fight. That's all I'm saying. That there are people for her to
You just
fight
said
to continue to
she said
hold on,
solidify
heavyweight. You
let me
said
and
say
go
make
down
something,
it
to
bro.
no
54,
question,
bro. You said go
bro.
down to 54, bro.
I'll bet
Listen to what
54.
you said.
She can make
Remember
54.
the
She
topic,
can
y'all.
make
This
60.
is
No
a fight that's
problem.
not gonna happen anytime soon.
Graham, if she beats Layla
God
Hey,
Ali,
just
damn, bro.
like Fresh said, bro, this ain't even an argument. Come on now, like this
look,
ain't an argument, man.
if she beat Layla Ali, that substantiates her claim to the greatest woman of all
She
time.
ain't gonna get no
Yeah,
credit
it
for that
do.
shit.
She
The
is.
mother gonna say Layla
So
too
She,
much.
so so
gonna
so
get
Look.
Jake
credit for it,
Paul,
bro.
so Jake Paul should when Mike Tyson get
No,
ready to go into
no,
the hall, Jake Paul should be right there, like, yeah,
no.
I'm glad I
Mike
get my
Tyson,
jacket with you,
Nah,
Mike.
Mike
I thought
no.
that
Tyson was
when
in a
she used
wheelchair,
Jake
bro.
Paul as a
Mike
comparison,
Tyson
I
was in a
Mike
thought that was
Tyson,
wheelchair.
not
hold on.
that
Mike
was not
Tyson,
to me that.
Mike, hold
Ugh.
on, bro. Mike Tyson got beat up way before he fought Jake Paul plenty of times. Layla Ali
Yeah,
is
plenty of time.
undefeated. She's not out of shape. If she comes back, get in good fighting shape, she gonna get credit for that win, bro. She
Layla
gonna get
Ali,
credit. Mike Tyson
Layla
already
Ali
lost.
is
Going on 50
undefeated,
years
Hey,
old.
but goddamn it, she
no,
been
that
out the
wasn't
ring
there.
for a long ass time, man.
That's
That's
true.
too
George
long. If it
Foreman
was
was out the
like
ring for a
7 or
long
8
time
years,
too.
if Tyson had fought Roy Jones and all that, and I mean, like for a few years prior, so
Yeah.
it's the elements of just 18 years, man. I'm
Well,
sorry,
that was an
man.
Look,
exhibition though.
Mike Tyson
But it
That was an
was
lost
in the
multiple
exhibition.
ring though.
fights.
At
Muhammad
least he was in
Ali.
the doggone ring.
When what's the guy who beat Muhammad Ali? That Mike Tyson knocked out. I keep forgetting his name.
You talking about Larry Holmes?
Larry Holmes. He don't get
Larry
credit for
Holmes.
fighting Ali because Ali was all the way out of it, like mentally, physically, just like Mike Tyson when he fought Jake Paul.
But it's funny
Layla
you mentioned
Ali,
that. Go ahead.
Layla Ali is not that. She's not like that. She's not like that. It's credit in getting a win
It's
against
funny how
her.
they
Yeah,
say
she's still
Larry
beautiful and
Holmes
all the
don't get
shit.
credit, but
He don't.
freaking what's his name get credit with only 7 wins that Floyd talk about all the time.
What's up,
Oh, you
man?
talking about Spinks?
Yeah, he get credit for beating Muhammad Ali, but Larry Holmes don't.
Yeah, I mean that's Floyd, but I don't really give him credit for that. But like Larry Holmes, we know Muhammad Ali was nowhere. He shouldn't even been fighting that fight. He was like slow in the press conferences. But
Yeah.
he and Mike Tyson is not. They got way more damage than Layla Ali took. She undefeated still. You know what I'm saying? She still looked good. She
And she
still in
took
good
way
shape.
more, way less damage. They fight 2-minute
So
rounds, bro.
yeah,
Like
so
it's a totally different than men's boxing, bro.
she
We
get
gotta.
credit for that win, bro. No matter how you look at it, she gotta
You
get
want
credit
this?
for it.
I don't know how y'all fellas got off into women's boxing like this, but god damn,
Yeah,
like,
bro. No, Brim got us on that
that's
shit.
what happened when you
Brim came
stay.
in here with that storm.
Hey, I want to see that fight though, man.
I pay attention to women's boxing, bro. I ain't gonna sit here in front.
I mean,
Like
no,
I
it's
know
okay. It's
I
okay
know
to
who's gonna be
speak
the
on
future pound for
women's.
pound when Clarissa Shields retired. It's probably gonna be Ellie Scott. She's gonna be running it, man. Her form and her technique is
Yeah,
phenomenal, bro.
Scotness is the truth. I like Shanika Johnson too, man. That beat up
Oh
freaking
yeah, Sugar Neek.
Metcalf.
Yeah, Sugar Neek's got it.
Yeah,
Yeah, she got it. She got the
she's
skills.
good. She's not as good as I thought she is, but she a good boxer.
She's strong though, compared to her contest that day. She looks strong.
Yeah.
I gotta go back on the site, y'all.
I appreciate you pulling up,
Brim
Haynes.
had me hot. I gotta go back on the site.
I know, but I just try. Listen, I'm biasedly unbiased, bro. I mean, it is what it is. But
what you thinking about Jake Paul accepting the sheep
For Joshua,
the fight AJ?
That's a good fight, bro.
Look, I don't have nothing to say about that because boxing has proven to us that they willing to give us more and more of these unrealistic fights, and that's just another unrealistic fight on paper. But people are going to tune in. We know Joshua should go in there and beat Jake Paul up like it's cool. He should knock him out.
But WCS.
But we know Turkey have influence on these fights too.
No, but did you hear what Turkey
look,
said though? Did you hear what Turkey said? He had me cracking up laughing. He said, "I want this fight." He said, but you know it's not in his favor. He said, "I wanted that with 99-1. He want to get Jake Paul knocked out."
He want Jake Paul to be finished.
About it is Joshua got a glass chin, bro. Jake Paul can.
And Jake Paul can't punch.
Man, I swear to God, if you wasn't Bud gonna stop Canelo, I would have put you in the background right now, man.
Hey, listen, bro. You can't count on.
I would have put your ass in the background quick.
Wow. Yes, man. I respect you.
I'm serious, dog. Like, I can't believe you talking about Jake Paul has a puncher's chance of Joshua, dog.
Joshua's chin is glass, bro. If he get hit,
Daniel Dubois hit Joshua pretty good, and he was all over the place, but he got up.
That's true. Remember, right? But the reason why Joshua got knocked out is he hurt Dubois right before he got knocked out and kept on throwing that same right, and then pow.
He ain't gonna get knocked out either way. He will get knocked out either way.
That's cool. That's cool. Your boy's still fighting, man. Listen. Let's see. Let him do the George Foreman style. If he do that, I think he can be able to do something. He just need to fight a lot. He should go like a tour. Wilder should actually do like a tour to the smaller cities and do like 3 or 4 fights in a 9-month period, and then try to get a title shot. Get himself.
So WCS, what you think about Jake Paul against Wilder right now?
Nah.
I mean, I don't know, like Wilder, man, for what? Like for a paycheck? That's the only thing I'll say. I don't have Jake Paul beating Wilder, bro. I don't.
You don't think
WCS, could you envision Wilder doing something like George Foreman, where do you think he could be dedicated enough to do like a bunch of like the fights he just did, do 2 or 3 more of those like in a short period of time, and then try to jump back in the title fight, get into form, like for real.
I mean, I think it's a good deal because he was patient his last fight. He was patient and he was working on some things I don't have a problem with, but my only thing is the clock never stopped. So he's continuing to get old and older. So when he come back, who he's gonna fight that's his age?
Wilder
again?
Wilder's one of my favorite fighters of all time, but his chin is not gonna hold up no more, bro. I just think he should.
You
stop
keep
fighting.
saying that, but the only time he had a chin issues with Fury, and then he even held on for Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker would have hit somebody else with that overhand right like he did Bacoli. They would have went down. Just imagine that.
Yeah.
Joseph Parker, was he not the one fighting Bacoli or not? Who was fighting Bacoli?
Yeah, it was Joseph Parker.
And he cracked him on the top of the head with the same shot he hit Wilder, and Wilder didn't go down. But Wilder did go down in Zhang fight. That's my only argument to that.
I just feel like
gotta
Wilder,
be blessed.
when he
I'm
get
gonna
hit,
roll out, man.
All right,
All right,
peace, bro.
appreciate it, bro.
No doubt.
Salute to you.
when he get hit though, I just feel like it be too shaky. Like he just don't hold up like he used to, man. I think when he get in there with a real puncher,
His
like
balance
Zane,
always been messed up though. His balance has always been
but
kind of wobbly,
but look, he used to
unsteady.
take them shots like from Ortiz and everything. He was never got dropped. He was just taking those shots and always in a fight. He had a beard before, but after the Fury, it just never was the same no more. You know what I'm saying? So I just
Hey,
don't
I'm gonna
think
tell
he
you
got
like
enough.
this, BG, because you're still kind of young, right? I think you in your
Yeah, I'm
30s.
43.
Okay, you're 43. So give you another 7 years, you'll be 50, right?
Yeah.
Okay, get in the mirror and slap yourself today,
Oh,
and you'll be able to
damn.
take it. You'll be able to take it, right?
Yeah.
But do it when you turn 50. Slap yourself again and see how many rooms you be in.
Right.
See how far you stumble and be like, God damn, like where my equilibrium go? I'm telling you, it's
Yeah.
not going to be the same, bro. Like
So yeah.
just think about us right now. We're growing without the punishment up top, right? We're not getting hit in the head. But just think about the fighters like Wilder, who's been in there with Fury, Luis Ortiz, even oh boy, Arthur Spilker. Arthur Spilker was putting hands on Wilder.
Yeah, he
You
was.
know? Johan Duhaupas. I mean,
Yeah.
man, this boxing, dog. Wilder was getting dropped in the amateurs, man, because he was fast tracking. He
Yeah.
got dropped in the freaking amateurs.
I just like when he get hit though now, I see him lose balance. Like he just don't be. It's just not the same no more, man. I thought he was gonna make another run, but I don't. After the last fight, I don't really see it like that.
But you can say the same for Fury. Fury ain't the same fighter since fighting Wilder either. He's
yeah,
not,
he
man.
not from natural Wilder power. Yeah,
And Dillian White, I don't know. Dillian White, by the time he leave the sport, man, they're gonna be done made a freaking Drew motherfucking bib that just hang off your ears like the mask in COVID.
He finna get
Because
stopped
Dillian White
again.
ain't gonna be able to carry on a complete sins at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Povetkin knocked him out. Fury knocked him out. Joshua
Yep.
knocked him out.
Well,
Moses
they two
did a really
motherfuckers
knock.
in here
Alexander
looking it up, boy.
Povetkin knocked him out.
Yeah, and Moses the time about to rock him. So
Fury knocked him out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
it's boxing at the end of the day. I think Wilder talks a little different now than he was back in the day. Seriously,
yeah,
I
he
do.
got a
I
little.
think he talks a little different.
Draw. He got a little
Yeah.
draw on his southern draw.
That's what I'm saying. He should just, he did what he did in the Hall of Fame. Just
He
walk
made his
away.
money, bro. He should retire,
Man, that's the like I say, my Muhammad Ali of this era, man. I was happy
Yeah.
to be able to cover Wilder and get an interview and shit when he was reigning defending, man. Ain't no changing that.
Man, look, I'm the one told Wilder before the Ortiz fight was made. You know how he was Ortiz was ducking
Yeah.
him and all that stuff. I'm the one who told Wilder. I texted him, I DM'd him on Instagram and told him, I knew these niggas knew who you was and they fear you. Even Luis Ortiz gave you your respect. He was like, gave me my respect when. So I sent him the video, and then we had texted like 2 or 3 times after that, bro. I definitely got that fight started for him. After I sent him that video, the fight got made after that because he seen him showed him respect. So like I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? He know what's up. When I sent
That's
him
cool,
that.
man.
I still got them text messages. Yeah.
Hey, bro. For people to say that Wilder's not a Hall of Famer, they're nuts, bro. I don't know what people are thinking, bro. Like their brains are just shot.
Yeah, because they hater. Yeah, motherfucker
I mean,
hater.
they're gonna hate until hate cannot. You know, they're gonna hate to the end, man. That's just the way it is with Wilder.
Yeah, they didn't appreciate him when he was here, and you could tell people miss the old Wilder. Even the people who don't like him, they still miss what he brought to the heavyweight division. You could just tell from the comments, like they know.
If you miss it, you appreciate it when you got it. God damn it! Don't wait till it's gone.
For real, man.
Just like Crawford, they ain't gonna appreciate Crawford till you up out of here.
Nope.
Fresh to hell with you. Wilder ain't got no suspect chin. He got a better chin than goddamn Joshua do.
Yeah, he definitely got a better chin than
He got a better
Man,
chin than
he
Joshua.
definitely got a better chin than Joshua now. Come on, man.
I don't know who wins that fight now, but before I knew Wilder would have washed him easy. You know what I'm saying? But
Man,
now,
Wilder washes Joshua right now. It might be a little bit funking up the room and smoke out everywhere, but somebody come out victorious. I think Wilder can catch him just like Dubois caught him.
He could get it done, but I'm just not as confident as I was before. You know what I'm saying? It's just I still want to see that fight though.
Man, Wilder a dog walked that nigga in, man.
But I don't think
Eddie Hearn's just, man, you know, he's just, I think that's a fight that Joshua doesn't want, man. To be honest, he just don't want that fight.
He knew, because even before he lost to Parker, Joshua was already trying to duck the fight, talking about fighting Herkovich. Belts mean more than, you know what I'm saying? He was already ducking the fight. Then all of a sudden, when Wilder lost, they want to act like they was running to the smoke. He was finna duck that fight, nigga. So
Eddie Hearn ain't never wanted that fight. They're like he ain't never want Boost to fight no damn body.
He made sure Joshua and Wilder didn't happen. And and now, you know, I don't think it's gonna even happen though, because Turkey said Wilder gotta prove himself to get the fight, which I don't really feel like he's gonna be able
so
to
how Wilder has to prove himself, right?
Yeah.
But you know, you have other heavyweights that's over there that Eddie Hearns can just plan fights for Jake Paul, and you ain't saying nothing about it. Last time I checked, Anthony Joshua was on all fours, ass up, and you know, after Dubois knocked him out, you ain't disappointed in Joshua?
Yeah, I definitely am.
No, I'm talking about Turkey.
Yeah, right. You right.
Oh yeah, he said that bullshit.
But
that
you know, he putting him against Jake Paul. He not putting him against a contender, a heavy contender, though. Really, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely understand what you're saying, because I feel like he'll still give Joshua a shot at a big name. You know what I'm saying? If Eddie Hearn wanted that, yeah, I definitely get that. But I mean, I understand what he's saying with Wilder too, because he set the stage twice for them to fight, and then Wilder just didn't come through. So I understand that aspect of it too.
Hey, fellas, I'm gonna be back on a little later, man. I gotta take care of some stuff.
Go ahead, I catch you out.
Plus, I gotta check these fights out, man.
I'm on the fights now.
Peace and blessings, man. You know, salute to y'all. Appreciate y'all pulling up as always, man. You know, BG definitely had his campaign agenda going today, boy.
Yeah, bro.
At least you stay your ground. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Yeah, man. All right, but
hey, but we'll talk.
Yep, I'll let you later.
How you feeling, Hank?
Bless y'all. All right, man. Thanks, you, bro. Thanks for having a panel today, bro.
Yeah,
that I can hop on. I done missed the last 3. I'm mad about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back. I'm just gonna check out some of these fights and you know, see what's going on.
Yep. Right, I'm gonna do the same, man. Peace
all right,
out,
man. How you, man?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, salute and shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game, man. Y'all already know. Appreciate the OGs pulling up. My boy OG Orange on deck. You know, Golden. Carlos showed up. BG, IOTBA boxing, man. Definitely make sure y'all subscribe to him, his channel, and the Spit Bucket podcast. My boy Haynes Legacy, man. Salute to him and the family. Continue to get well. Who else is on him? Bram. Shout out to Bram in the building. You know, they pulled up, and everybody that was in the chat. You already know we should do it again another time, another place. I'm out. Peace.